And there should be one ball left of the over. 8 from it so far. Then it's Durham in third spot. Durham have only played 4 though, so Durham have played fewer games than anyone else. They have 6 points, 3 wins and a defeat. Then you got Lancashire on 6, Notts on 6, Derbyshire on 4, Yorkshire 4, Northants 4, Leicestershire yet to get off the mark, 5 defeats from 5. Somerset leading the Southern group with 10 points. They've won 5 out of 5. Last ball from Shah in this over. It's gone off towards backward square leg, off the thigh pad, I think this will be indicated. Indeed it is by Graham Lloyd, the umpire. End of the over then. And a nice start from Durham, 9 off it. Neil Mallender is the other umpire. Just a short hop up the A1 for Neil, who lives in the Leeds area. Graham Lloyd, the son of Bumble, David Lloyd, who was a former Lancashire player and, of course, England coach.
And an umpire.
And an umpire, yeah. And can be heard these days on the official Lancashire commentary feeds for their county championship matches.
You're going to see a little bit of spin from the Lumley end. Callum Parkinson. There was some rumours swirling around that he might be heading up this way a few weeks ago.
His brother played one game, didn't he, for Durham on loan from Lancashire this year against Derbyshire.
He did indeed. Michael Jones seemed to take a little bit of a liking to him the other day. He's going to bowl left arm over the wicket to Alex Lees. He runs up with a very quick run up for a spinner and gets it through, and Lees pushes that down to long on for a single, 10 without loss.
Looks like he's coming up as a medium pacer there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think in the past he just sort of wandered in, didn't he?
It's to be a bit of a change because that's something new. Not that I'm an expert on Callum Parkinson's bowling by any stretch. It's quite a long run up, like you say, probably like a club medium pacer's run up. He's going to come round the wicket to Jones. There's a deep mid wicket and a long on in place. And this is pushed back down the pitch to Parkinson and no run.
This is his 89th T20. He's from Bolton originally.
Yep.
And he's got 101 wickets, so he passed the 100 mark in the last week. Best bowling, 4 for 20 against Warwickshire 5 years ago.
Comes round the wicket and there's a little bit of grip in the pitch, and Clark punches this one down to long on himself. He moves on to 8 and the score on to 11 without loss.
He started off at Derbyshire in 2016, played minor counties for Staffordshire as well, and then joined Leicestershire in 2017.
This time over the wicket, and Lees comes down the pitch, and it's a mis-stumping there, I think. We are directly behind the wicketkeeper there, but it looks like he's come down the pitch there and yorked himself, Lees.
Oh, I can't get the feet to work.
Some struggle with the streams the other night, so apologies for those that are watching and trying to get hold of us.
No, now it's come alive. Yeah.
So I think that's a missed opportunity there for Leicester as Parkinson again comes in left arm over the wicket. Lees punches this away square of the wicket. That beats the despairing dive. And they'll come back for a comfortable 2. There's Rishi Patel there at square leg. And an overcast day here. We've had some beautiful weather in the northeast over the last week. Today it's warm enough, but overcast. And again, another healthy crowd in, probably reflective of the cricket that Durham are playing this year. As Parkinson again comes in and Lees launches into a drive, but can't beat the man in the covers. And that ends the second over. Durham 13 without loss. Just the 4 off that one from Parkinson. Very tidy. He's on 4, Clark on 8.
He's dropped the ball there, hasn't he, Harry Swindells? Yeah. I think
definitely a mis-stumping.
Yeah. Paul Cook texts.
Hello, Cookie.
He says, great to see a left-handed spinner opening the bowling in a cup tie. Just wondering if Ash ever played with a good opening spinner.
Never.
As his partner.
Never. Left arm slow swing bowler, maybe. Spinner, I'm not so sure, Cookie. Good to hear from you, mate. His young fella might be in action for Chesley Street today, actually, Liam.
He's playing there, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Naveen Ul-Haq now to bowl from the Finkel end, Afghan international. It's quite a square-armed motion there. And that wraps into the box area of Graham Clark. He's appealing for LBW. my initial response to that would be too high.
Agreed, and probably sliding down leg.
But other than that,
it's worth a shout. Yeah, very chest-on bowler. That one skidded onto Clark. Maybe not bouncing as much as he thought, but missed his probably one of his favourite shots. If you asked him, he loves a pull shot.
he's the second Afghan to play for Leicestershire after Mohammed Nabi in 2018. So he comes in here again and bowls, and that's driven by Clark out into the covers, missed by Parkinson. I think it was 1 run. Remember him in a game against Durham because he bowled 2 beamers and he got banned from bowling in the match. He conceded 18 runs in 5 balls against Durham in 2021 at Leicester, and then somebody else had to finish off his over and Durham won the match. He's been around a bit. Colombo Stars, Guyana, Amazon Warriors in the Caribbean Premier League, Candy Tuskers, Kulna Tigers and Sylhet Thunder, to name a few. He's going to come right on round here to Lees. Lees drives. That's a lovely shot. Beautiful shot for 4. Straight back past the bowler. Coming diving at mid-on. Couldn't get anywhere near that one, and that races away for 4 towards the boundary just below our commentary position.
Yeah, cleared the front leg there, Lees, and punched that one hard down the ground. Beat the despairing dive of Ackerman. Gets Lees away. 18 without loss.
John's on holiday in Croatia and wondering where he can watch the match. It's on the Durham YouTube channel, which does seem to be working okay at the moment after a glitchy start. And of course, we're around the world on the BBC website and sports app. Well, Hackett comes in again now to Lees. Lees drives hard at that one, and that goes to mid-off and is picked up by Rishi Patel. And Davy Fenix emailed and says, "Hi Marty, that must have been a canny batting track Ash played on yesterday."
Yeah, she was pretty good. We used the same pitch as
Benwell Hill we were at.
No, we were at home, yeah.
Against Benwell Hill.
Yeah, and we used the same pitch that Durham played their 2 T20 games on for the second team during the week. And yeah, full credit to Jake, the groundsman there. That was an absolute belter. Maybe the captain should have won the toss and chased.
Are you who's the captain?
Yeah, that would be me.
I just thought it was you. Well, Hack in. And a slower ball this time, just dabbed away on the offside by Lees. And Hack tries to run him out, but misses the target at the bowler's end. Backed up by Ackerman. Can you remember Ackerman's bowling figures?
He cleaned up, didn't he? He had the best 6 for or something, didn't he?
Got a world record,
best
didn't
figures in the world.
7, wasn't it?
Something ridiculous.
7 for 18 against Warwickshire in 2019.
There's hope for us all.
1 ball left of this over here on BBC Radio Newcastle Durham. Put in by Leicestershire, 19 without loss. Clark is on strike on 9. In fact, both batsmen have got 9. Hack in past the umpire Lloyd, and that's off the pads, and that looked like it was going down the leg side as well. He's appealing once again, but nothing doing. A leg bye is signalled, and that is the end of the over. So Durham 20 without loss after 3.
Yeah, I think you bang on there. That one did look like it was sliding going on with his action is to tail the ball into the right-hander. Maybe took a little bit of pace off that one. Clark looking to whip it over the leg side. Get the pad, but pretty good decision there. 20 without loss, so a solid, if not unspectacular start. Both teams would be happy at the moment.
Durham going into this one have won 8 of the last 11 against Leicestershire. They won last season's opener at Grace Road by 54 runs, but then lost the return game here by 51 runs.
On the telly that one, wasn't it, I think? Blame the sky.
Yeah. Curse of Sky strikes again. Was it 13 wins in about 1 million matches? 13 wins in 39 games for Durham on the TV. They've lost 25. New over. This is Hull bowling. He's a big lad, isn't he?
He's a big left armer.
Made his debut the other night against Northants. Took none for 26, I think I wrote down earlier.
Left arm over the wicket.
None for 29. From the Huntingdon area. So my mate Mark moved down to Huntingdon from Sunderland a few years ago and lived in a nice little town called Godmanchester on the
Godmanchester,
the Great Ouse, the river. Nice area.
Here he comes, left arm over the wicket, left-handed Lee's on strike, and he removes his off stump. Lee's crouching down a little bit, maybe expecting a little bit more bounce there as he takes a look back and sees only 2 of his stumps remaining, but that's a good start from Hull. And I think Leicester will be more than happy with Durham sitting on 21 for 1, and Lee's goes bowled by Hull for 9.
Just played around it, didn't he?
Well, it was a big shot. Probably looking to pick up the length and hit it over the leg side. And he's made no contact.
Miles away. The off stump has ended up going behind him, and it's gone a whole strip across.
We were talking, talking to the groundsman at Chester Street the other day, Jake McCann, around how Vic manages to get the stumps just loose enough so when they hit the stumps, they absolutely fly out of the ground. Watching Souter bowl the other night, and he removed 2 stumps when Stephen Croft, wasn't it, came down the pitch.
Well, that is Josh Hull's first wicket in T20 in his second match. So well done,
congratulations. A good start from him and a good start from Leicester. Durham 21 for 1 here. A Sunday afternoon in Chesley Street. Reasonable crowd in again. And Michael Jones is the new batsman. Left arm over the wicket, 2 sweepers out on the offside at cover point and deep backward square as Hull comes into Michael Jones. And he just defends this out into the offside. And there's a little bit of hesitation, but they'll comfortably get through for a single. Jones off the mark first ball, 22 for 1. That mis-stumping not really costing Leicester there as Lees goes for 9. Durham in need of a partnership. Michael Jones has ripped the strap on his pad there. He's calling for some new pads. As Hull comes in and Clark flashes and edges and he's caught behind. So Hull strikes twice in his first over and picks up his second wicket. That one carries nicely through to Swindles behind the stumps. And Durham in a little bit of trouble at 22 for 2. Clark gone, caught Swindles, bowled Hull for 10, 11 balls. Durham just need to rebuild a little bit here as Ollie Robinson is the new batsman who comes out to the crease. Leicester absolutely flying.
Could he have left that one, do you think? It was angling right across him, wasn't it?
I've got no doubt he could have left it, but I've got no doubt he wanted to hit that for 4 as well. There was a little bit of width there. And we all know Graham Clark on his day is putting that one away for 4. Unfortunately, this one just angled across him. Catches the outside edge and Swindles takes a nice catch. Leicester right on top here. 22 for 2. Run rate just at 6 and over. Just to run a ball. Who won the toss? Did Leicester win the toss?
Yeah,
won the perfect
toss,
start.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I said not to write them off.
I think they're always a dangerous side, aren't they? They've obviously had a poor start, but they're a side that generally starts slowly and builds into the competition. Probably don't want to leave it much later than where they are at the moment. But they're off to a good start here today. Durham 22 for 2. 2 openers, Lees and Clark back in the pavilion.
Scott Steele not in the picture anymore at Leicester either.
Yeah.
Leicestershire. I looked at his stats today and they were the same as when Durham played Leicestershire last year in the T20. He hasn't played a game for them since.
This hole comes in and Robinson defends this out into the offside. And it's no run. Yeah, he had that good year, didn't he, with Darcy Short, where they opened the batting together and
broke a record for the highest opening stand.
And then he was asked to kind of bat down the order a little bit and maybe bowl a bit more off spin and didn't quite work out, and then got the opportunity to move down to Leicester and seemed to start really well there, and then that's faded off a little bit as well for him. As Hull comes in, last ball of his first over, and Robinson drives this out into the offside. And another dot, and what a great over there. 2 runs off it. More importantly, 2 wickets for Hull. Durham 22 for 2. Richie Beno would be in absolute heaven right now. Well, he is, but not on that scorecard.
Well, Hull's only 18 and he's a big lad.
Mm.
He's huge. Must be about 6'7". And he's done a job for his team there. He made his debut for Leicestershire in first-class cricket this season, and his T20 debut was the other night, Friday night. So born in the Huntingdon area, born in Huntingdon, in fact, and has played cricket for Huntingdonshire, which you no longer see if you're going south down the motorway, because one time you used to have to go past there on the A14, and it was that wibbly-wobbly bit of road, and now it's bypassed. There's a huge new motorway there. Here's Jones on strike to Hack, start of a new over. Throw's come in and taken the stump out of the ground at the non-striker's end, but Robinson was in his crease. The ball had been played to sort of deep gully. And the throw coming in there from Rehan Ahmed, who made his England debut in the winter. The spinner took 4 wickets here last year as Leicestershire won. Bit of rebuilding work from a Durham point of view now. Naveen Hack, right arm over, in past the umpire and bowls to Jones. Jones drops it short towards Ahmed and goes for a quick single, and Robinson gets there. Ahmed pirouettes as he picks it up and hurls the ball towards the stumps at the wicket-keeper's end, but misses the target. Sharjah is the location for the first series between the United Arab Emirates and the West Indies today. They're playing a one-dayer. Been to that ground.
Yeah, lovely little ground.
Yeah.
Right next to the motorway there.
In comes the bowler again. Pushed up to mid-on this time, no run there. When I went to that ground in the early 90s, I went with my dad and we spent a week with the Zimbabwe team because John Hampshire was coaching them.
Okay.
And we were staying with some friends nearby, but they were playing as a triangular tournament against Sri Lanka and Pakistan. So there's hardly anyone in the ground. We were just sitting in the press box each day. And there was a football stadium next door, and then basically that was the edge of Sharjah. There was nothing beyond it other than the motorway going past and desert. As Ul-Haq comes in and bowls again now, and this is pushed off to the covers. Going to go for a quick single and a direct hit from quite a way out there. More or less 30 yards, side on, good throw, but Jones was in his crease. Trying to see you through that.
Be nice if he turned around, wouldn't it? If you take the number.
Welsh, Nick Welsh. Yeah. So I had the shirt in my head, but went for Finch. Yeah, Nick Welsh. Yeah, and I went back past there a few years ago. It was about 2014. Durham played in Abu Dhabi in the MCC match, and then I went to stay with a mate in Sharjah. And we drove past the ground, and I only just caught it in the corner of my eye because it's right in the centre of the city now. Such has been the expansion of it. That's a wide down the leg side, bounces into the keeper's gloves.
If he got a little bit of butt.
I tell you what, I think he must have done there. He has, because it wasn't signalled as a wide. And Jones looked up at the air in sort of thanks that he hadn't been caught, because the ball just bounced before it reached the keeper. And Naveen Ul-Haq was, in fact, it's got Shah on the scoreboard now. He was ready to celebrate a wicket there. Just didn't quite carry.
Yeah.
It is Nazim Sharp.
Yeah.
Right arm over. Comes in and bowls. And guided down to third man by Jones for 1. And just 2 from the over. So Durham finding things a little bit tricky at the moment. They've only got 25 on the board and they're 2 down. 5 overs gone.
Yeah, great start from Leicester. They look really sharp in the field, don't they? There's been 2 direct hits with throws. Obviously got 2 important wickets there with Lees and Clark back in the pavilion, and Durham sitting on 25 for 2 after 5 overs. No doubt be their slowest start to the current T20 campaign. And unsurprisingly, Hull is going to get a second over here. So he got the double breakthrough in his last over. He currently has figures of 2 for 2. He's going to bowl left arm over the wicket with Jones on strike. And there's a lot of width there, and that is a wide ball.
Andrew Hutchinson says his YouTube's okay. What do you think of England against Ireland, he asks. I don't think Ireland should be playing Test cricket, and I think it was a mistake for them to do it. And it's robbed a lot of Ireland players of the opportunity to play county cricket in England, which many of them were doing.
That is a shame. I would ideally building into Test cricket. Obviously, the Ireland lads would be very proud to represent Ireland in Test cricket, but it might have been a better step to have them introduced into the county championship first. This Hull again comes in. This one's much straighter, and Jones hits this to mid-on and riskily takes a single. And a bit of confusion between the Leicester fielders there allows him through.
Well, I was listening to a discussion on Test Match Special on Thursday afternoon, and they were saying there's no first-class structure in Ireland at the moment.
Okay.
And COVID's caused a lot of issues in terms of money. They don't have a dedicated stadium, which they're supposedly needing to develop.
This Hull comes in and Robinson punches this one away behind point, and he'll get 4. Lovely piece of timing, as we've seen so many times from Robinson this year. Just leans on that one and pushes it between the man at backward point, and it races away for a much-needed boundary for Durham, 31 for 2.
And they've only played 4 tests, and I think 2 of them might have been against Afghanistan. So
yeah,
there's
2 one-offs against England.
Yeah. So their priority is to qualify for the World Cup. They're meant to be co-hosts of the World Cup here in 2030, so they've got to get a move on in building this stadium.
Are they building a new one, or are they just redeveloping Malahide as Hull comes in? And this one again, rinse and repeat. This one a little bit fuller, and Robinson opens the face of the bat and hits this one, which I'm sure is going to see third man come up into the circle and a sweeper go out on the offside. Robinson back-to-back boundaries just to get a bit of momentum. Durham move on to 35 for 2 and Robinson on to 9. So yeah, and it's a tough one, isn't it, getting that start? And Ireland been very, very competitive in white ball cricket. But you just look and you feel for them. Well, they played that test series in Sri Lanka, didn't they? When Sri Lanka was 700 for 3 or something crazy the other week. As Hull comes in again, and Robinson this time gets an outside edge. Third man, who is now up in the circle, is beaten. The despairing drive. And back-to-back boundaries for Robinson. Takes the score on to 39 for 2. Robinson moves on to 13. And just a bit of momentum here in the last over of the power play for the home side.
It looks like they're going to develop, quite a swanky-looking, very strange-looking building at Malahide. New pavilion there. But they need floodlights and everything as well. And none of that is in place yet. So
there's a lot of money to be invested to obviously get that established. And hopefully they get that right. As Hull comes in and Robinson cuts this one away. This time it does find the sweeper out on the offside.
Andrew Balburney, was it the other day? He said he didn't see the Test match as a pinnacle event and was more concerned about qualification for the World Cup.
Probably in terms of investment and money to be had for Ireland, that probably is the focus, whereas Test cricket, I can't imagine being the most lucrative sport for them. And it probably actually costs them money to host the event.
Well, that's why they're not playing home tests as well. It's easier for them to come to England. It's cheaper for them to come to England.
Last ball of the power play, and Jones pushes this out onto the offside, and it's no run. So Durham end the power play on 40 for 2. A little bit of momentum there from Ollie Robinson in that last over. Hull going for 15 in that over. He has figures of 2 for 17. Accounting for the 2 Durham opening batsmen, Alex Lees bowled, attempting to hit him over the leg side, removing his off stump. He went for 9. And not long after that, Graham Clark flashed at one and got an outside edge. And was well taken by Swindles behind the stumps. He was out for 10, both off the bowling of Hull. And we're going to see the very talented Ryan Ahmed come into the attack, is it?
Yeah, looks like it.
Left leg spinner. Making his Test debut over the winter.
Made his debut against Durham last year, actually. Scored 18 and took 2 for 22 in Leicester. And then here, 4 for 22 and a 51-run win. So he's the youngest player to play a Test for England as well, wasn't he? 18 years and something? 18 years.
Comes in, and this one's punched away off the back foot. You get at least 2, but that's really nicely timed by Jones, and he collects a 4. Still move on to 45 for 2. Just using all the pace off that delivery from Ahmed.
18 years and 126 days when he made his debut in Karachi for England in December. He took a 5 in his one and only test as well.
He did more than handy with the bat too. Very good player. Exciting prospect for English cricket. He comes in. This one is pushed out into the offside by Jones for no run.
He was at Nottinghamshire and then Leicestershire during schoolboy cricket. Plays for the Cavaliers and Carrington in the Nottinghamshire Premier League. That sounds unfair. That sounds like they should have 22 players instead of 11. It's a leggy, and this one's played by Jones up to long off for 1 run. Picked up in the end there by Nick Welsh, the opener. Scoreboard's gone off.
Little glitch there. Graham Madison will no doubt be pressing buttons to get that back up and running.
This is pushed away by Robinson, 4-1. Back to Welsh again at long off. Yorkshire Grumbler says they've been watching the T20 this morning, the men's game, the women's game this afternoon. He said initial impression is the crowd has thinned as Jones drives at this one and drags it across towards deep mid-wicket for 1 run. He said, but I don't think it's thinned as much as last week when the men's game ended. Last week, of course, people were going to watch Leeds get relegated. So they had another thing to keep their minds on.
What a brilliant. What is it? Was that a Twitter Yorkshire Grumbler? Was it the handle? Brilliant, that. I like that. 48 for 2. 7 down. Here at the Riverside on a Sunday afternoon.
Colin has, Ian's text to say the live stream was showing a caption plate to commence at 2:30 for him. So he said, I'm happy with your dulcet tones on the radio.
Lovely stuff.
But not with 2 wickets surrendered, he says.
Yeah.
And John says it's 42 degrees on the patio in Norfolk.
It's definitely not 42 degrees here. As Callum Parkinson resumes from the Lumley end and Michael Jones tucks this one out into the leg side for a single.
Derek Allen says Ellie was playing for Gateshead Foul Ladies the other day against Ledgate. She took 4 for 6.
Nice.
Can he go in it?
Well done. As Parkinson comes in and Robinson pushes this one out into the covers. Like I say, just a little rebuilding phase here from Durham, having lost the early 2 wickets, and that brings up the 50. 7.2 overs into proceedings. 50 for 2. Jones on 11, Robinson on 17. As Parkinson runs in. This one's pushed back to him by Jones and no run.
Stephen says, I spent an enjoyable afternoon yesterday at Ropery Lane with 2 good sides. What did Ash make of it all?
It was, I guess, from a neutral's point of view, it was a brilliant game of cricket as Parkinson comes in and Jones pushes this one down. But yeah, good pitch, some good players on show. I mean, we had a guy who scored 100, 2 other lads who made 50s, and they had 2 guys who made 200. So it was definitely a good afternoon of cricket as Parkinson comes in and Jones pushes this one out into the covers and a little squeeze on here.
Did you get any runs?
No, I didn't get in.
Did you not?
No, I didn't get in. Bowled a little bit, tried at the end to tie them up, and it was probably gone by then, to be totally honest with you. But Parkinson comes in, and this is hit over extra cover. And how well has he hit it? He's going to collect 2. It was a nice shot from Jones, kept his shape. Maybe with a little bit more swaz on the ball, it might have got to the boundary. Yeah, a bit of swaz. Like they do when that's what they call it when they hit the footballs these days and get the curve on the balls. A bit of swaz. 52 for 2 after 8. So good over that from Parkinson. He has figures of gone for 8, I think, off his 2.
Yeah. What are you bowl now? Are you?
Oh, a bit of filthy off spin.
Filthy off spin.
Yeah. Still ended up with cramp at 2:30 in the morning. Getting too old for this.
Ahmed bowls, and this is played away by Robinson out through deep mid-wicket, 4-2 in front of the pavilion. Picked up out there in the end by number 10, who is Callum Parkinson, who's moved around because he was
busy
a minute ago.
And that's a couple of blokes who got the same shirt on.
Yeah. Ahmed again, and Robinson with a little dab past point off this one. Shaw chases it as well, but Callum Parkinson's there once again. Ahmed, non 4-11 in 1.2 overs. Decent crowd in. Not as packed as it was the other day. Certainly the space on the upper tier of the County Durham stand, there wasn't the other night. This is pushed away by Jones. Couldn't quite get it stopped in the short extra cover area. Diving fielder in there, but it goes up towards long off for one. Man trying to stop it was the skipper, Colin Ackerman, who's put himself in close on the offside. Robinson skies one, and he's going to get away with it. He's got a thick edge on that one there, and it's gone out towards Parkinson. Deep extra cover. Got a little bit lucky there.
Yep, looking to hit that downtown straight over the bowler's head, and maybe a bit of grip there from Ahmed, but safely out into the offside.
Ahmed in again.
Wrong'un.
Yeah. Quick delivery as well. Rolled his wrist right around that, didn't he? And Jones played it to short extra cover. Last ball of the 9th comes in and bowls again. And Jones plays this off towards Parkinson once more on the cover boundary for one. Pavilion side of the ground. So Durham 58 for 2 after 9. Just got lucky. Can you remember that song by the Joe Boxers?
No.
Can you remember the Boxer Beat? Did that make it to Australia or not?
Probably.
The Boxer Beat. Beat. No.
No.
About 1983, something like that.
That was strictly rock and roll in Australia in those days.
Ian sorted his YouTube feed out.
Top man.
He said he did the old-fashioned thing of switching it off, switching it on again.
You get 50 grand being an IT consultant for that.
Yeah. We are cricket@yahoo.co.uk if you want to email.
Parkinson, left arm round the wicket from the Lumley end as Jones pushes it out into the leg side. And I think they'll hustle back for 2 here, and they do. Good running, good weight on the shot from Jones. He just pushes that just beyond the 30-yard circle.
Do the hustle. You remember that one?
I do remember that one. Probably mainly off The Simpsons, actually. Yeah.
It was a big hit in the 70s.
A bit of disco.
Yeah.
This Parkinson again comes into Jones' left arm round the wicket, and this time he hits it.
That's
with
right.
a bit more power and a bit more swaz, but maybe too much as the man from cover point runs around this time.
It's a little bit deceptive, the boundary in front of the castle stand. It just dips away from us, so it's difficult to see exactly how far it can go, if you see what I mean. It looks like it tucks the boundary rope, nearly tucks in underneath the stand, doesn't it?
Very tight, but another 2 to the score. Jones starting to get a bit of momentum. It's 62 for 2. A little fake to the leg side. And again, this is pushed out, but maybe a little bit too firmly for 2. And
I think there could have been 2 there, you know.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying in the interview that I played in before the game. Trying to turn 1s into 2s on this field. It's about a 65-metre boundary in all directions.
Yeah, it's good surface area. Kimber did the fielding there. It's done well. And Robinson, I think this time they will get 2. As Jones turns and goes. Kimber with the throw. And a direct hit might have been interesting, but excellent running. The chances of a direct hit on that are pretty minimal. Kimber did very well coming in from long on. But again, they collect another 2, and just Durham batsmen taking a moment to catch their breaths. 65 for 2 the score. As Parkinson comes in. And again, this is nudge out into the offside, the leg side. However, they settle for the single this time. 66 for 2. 1 ball remaining in the 10th. Nearly at the halfway point. Durham just rebuilding here with a little partnership. As Jones tucks this away out into the leg side. And Robinson looking for 2, however Jones sends him back, and that ends the 10th. And at the halfway stage, Durham is 67 for 2. Michael Jones on 21, Ollie Robinson on 24. This partnership just building here at 45 after losing Lees and Clark in the 4th over, I think it was. Back-to-back wickets for Hull. We bowled very well. I think Durham with this partnership would be quite comfortable, and Leicester with only 67 on the board will be pretty happy also. As Naveen,
45 runs the partnership.
yeah, as Naveen is going to come back into the attack from the Finkel end. Just starting to get a little bit brighter out there, a little bit of blue sky, a little bit Simpsons-like actually in the distance.
In comes the bowler. It's a change. Oh, and that's a wicket. It's Jones who's gone as well. He's being caught by Ahmed at point, looking to cut a delivery from Naveen ul Haq, and he's out for 21.
Got the length, but I'm not sure he got the width there, Jones, and he's tried to punch that one away, trying to beat the man at backward point, but Ren Ahmed takes a sharp catch and an important wicket, as we've just talked about. That partnership was on 45 and building quite nicely. But Michael Jones has to go. Caught by Rayan Ahmed off the bowling of Naveen ul Haq for 21. And Durham now 67 for 3. One ball into the 11th over. Ashton Turner, the man from Perth, joins Ollie Robinson. Little and large out there. Gives Turner plenty of time at the crease to get himself a start. Durham want to make sure they've got at least one batsman in for the last few overs to launch. Try and get Durham up to a competitive total. So far, Leicester will be happy. 67 for 3, just past the halfway point in the innings. Disappointing there for Jones. Just got to start his way to a sharp catch from Ahmed.
Out for 21 then. $67 for 3. Yeah, Leicester will be happy with this. Naveen ul Haq coming in now to bowl to Ashton Turner. He pulls this off the legs up towards deep square leg for 1 runner, who's off the mark first ball. So in the other games today, Yorkshire winning this morning with a 11:30 start against Derbyshire. Derbyshire 166 for 8, Yorkshire 170 for 3. So they won by 7 wickets with 10 balls remaining. In the Southern Group, Middlesex are in Bristol playing Gloucestershire, and they are currently 69 for 4. Ul Haq to Robinson. Robinson drives out through the covers. That's a really lovely shot. He's picked the spot there and he's planted that to the boundary for 4. Really nicely timed and nicely placed. He's been in canny nick this year, hasn't he? He's been a joy to watch.
Lovely to watch. Took the words out of my mouth there. That's just lent on from Ollie Robinson, who can't be more than 5'7" or 8, and he's just lent on that beautifully through the covers for 4. There was no doubt that was going for 4 the moment it left his bat. There's no swing, it was all timing.
Parkinson sweeping on the boundary, and he's put it between him and sort of wide mid-off. It comes Ul Haq again, and this is played the other way this time for 1 run, up to mid-on to Lewis Kimber. Lancashire 27 for none in Nottingham. Glamorgan are playing in Hove. They are 91 for 1. Against Sussex, and Somerset in Taunton are 73 for 4 against Essex. Kent 84 for 3 against Surrey and Canterbury. And in this group, Worcestershire, who've won, I think, 4 out of 4, and top of the group are 84 for 4 against Northants in Worcester. Ul Haq comes in again and bowls. And Turner places it behind Rayan Ahmed, a backward pointing down towards third man. He'll get 2 here. And it's Hull with a left arm throw from way down the far end of the ground towards the far corner of the health club with the throw back in. Naveen ul Haq is 23 years old, born in Kabul. He's played 7 one-dayers for Afghanistan, 27 T20 internationals.
He's handy been around the world. Franchise cricket.
Comes in and bowls. And it was a wideish delivery, which Turner's just played off into the covers.
Clever slower ball.
Took a bit of pace off it, didn't he? Yeah. End of the over, 11 gone, 75 for 3 here on BBC Radio Newcastle.
Ollie Robinson, the man.
It's just quite an astonishing mistake in my score, in my notes here. Naveen ul Haq's highest score.
45,000?
258 against Northants this week, which should read 28. So,
impressive.
Yeah.
That would be some watching, that.
172 wickets. Best figures 5 for 11 against Worcestershire in a win last year.
He's a very handy player. As Rayan Ahmed this time bowls from the Lumley end. Ollie Robinson drives down too long off. Ackerman gets a paw to it, but unable to stop it, and they get through for a single.
Dave says, Stewie Pointer got a good knock for Northumberland today. 171 in their game against Herefordshire in a total of 369 at Jesmond.
Brilliant effort, that.
Herefordshire have just started their reply. There's another, I mean, he's ended up being released by Durham anyway, but...
Ahmed comes in and Turner reverse sweeps this, and we'll get full value. Got down low. Beautiful technique there from Turner. And reverse swept it away past backward point for 4. And Durham move on to 80 for 3. He moves on to 7. Ollie Robinson is on 30. That was a gorgeous shot.
Turner goes into overdrive.
We're back.
Can't help it.
Back, man.
I can't help it.
We're back, man.
Yeah.
This time he sweeps the other way and he's picked the gap. I think they'll only get one there as Turner had to get up off his back knee as he swept that one away. Have you seen Jamie in today? He's,
no, I think that's today. He was a
Mario Brothers, I think.
All right, he was a Sea Admiral on Friday night, apparently.
Brilliant. As Ahmed comes in, and this is a bit flatter, and Robinson gets this away behind point, and that'll go for 4 as well. That's an incredible piece of timing again from Robinson. Ahmed just bowling pretty quickly here. He might just be better off taking a bit of pace off because he's used the pace in that.
Well, Robinson this season's had a 64 against Yorkshire, 64 not out, and a 50 against Notts.
It's red ball
34, yeah. He's had a century in red ball, a few half centuries.
Outstanding. Ahmed comes in, and this one's even quicker, but driven further into the pitch, and Robinson pulls this one out to deep mid-wicket. One of 2 Robinsons playing for Durham today. Ollie, a young fella, but young Luke Robinson on debut. He'll get his chance with the ball later on. As Ahmed comes in and Turner punches this one away, and he will look for 2, but settles for the single. And that ends the 12th. Durham on 87 for 3. This partnership already on 20. Turner and Ollie Robinson. Robinson on 35, Turner on 9. And it's important for Durham's point of view that this partnership continues to build. And Leicester looking for more wickets.
Hull coming back into the attack, this time from the Finkel end.
As big Hull comes into attack.
He's going to Hull and back.
He is a big human.
Yeah.
Standing next to Colin Ackerman, who isn't a short fella, and he absolutely towers over him.
Turner's just having a look around to see where the gaps are. It's a good look around as well, isn't he? Right, here comes Hull, left arm over, runs in at an angle, quite wide as he delivers it, and that's gone down the leg side and is flicked away to fine leg for 1. He's bowling that there. His foot's sort of on the blue mark, isn't it? On the side of the, the wide,
the guidelines, yeah. Looking to probably push it across the right-hander. He got his line slightly wrong there. Turner tucking that one away for a single.
88 for 3 here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Robinson on strike now. Drives the ball and it just bobbles away. That's come off the bottom of the bat. And he's staring at the bottom of the bat as well.
Yorker length there, wasn't it?
Those are the ones that reverberate through the bat handle and sting your fingers for a few moments.
And smash your favourite bats.
Quite a decent crowding, actually, isn't it?
It's nice.
Not as busy as the other day, but I'm looking at the pavilion, it's busy. And
it's a good hum around the ground, isn't there? Old cricket hum.
Ball to Robinson. He pulls that, or he tries to pull that through the leg side. It comes off the thigh pad, runs away towards square leg. The keeper goes to retrieve it. It's a leg by. Durham actually bowled quite a few wides the other night and against Lancashire, and then ironically the winning run came from a wide. Mike Duncan says, do your links for the Durham commentary work abroad? I'm off to Tenerife on Tuesday. We'll be okay for test matches as TMS put it on the overseas link. In comes the bowler, and this is guided down towards backward point to Ahmed, who stops it. It bounces off him, but he stops getting runs. Yeah, you can listen to us anywhere around the world. And I presume there's no geo barring on the YouTube channel either,
I don't think so, no.
There's certainly no geo block on the commentary. And I know that because we have people listening to us around the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I book all the commentary streams, and there's a question at the bottom as you're putting all the details in. Is this UK only or worldwide? And you click on worldwide. It comes in, cut by Turner off towards the point boundary. Parkinson's there, but he's slid into the ropes, and it's 4. Looks rather disappointed with himself there.
He's got his angles wrong there, didn't he? As he's come round, maybe Vic's got one up on him there as the angle cuts around in front of the gym. But nice timing by Turner. Gets him onto 14. Durham 39. 93 for 3.
Is it next Sunday the start of county championship match against Glamorgan?
I believe so. Yeah, we had Stan McAleenan playing for us yesterday. And
right.
I think they're using the Kookaburra balls as well.
Oh, is it? Right. In comes the bowler, and Turner goes down the track to him, and it's come off the splice, and all he can do is steer it towards backward square leg for 1. And another over is complete. 13 gone. 7 to go. 94 for 3.
Yeah.
These two have brought a bit of stability to the proceedings. So they came together 67.
27?
Yeah.
Parkinson. He's going to come back into the attack, bowled all his overs here. This will be his last. Left arm round the wicket to Ashton Turner. Comes in now off that long run up. Turner punches this one out onto the offside. Runs the first one extremely hard. And he's coming back to a risky second run, but he is absolutely rapid between the wickets. I'd love to see him and Coggers run between the wickets together. That would be a sight to see.
I wonder how far away Coggers is, because he was out warming up the other day. I didn't notice the warm-ups today. I wasn't watching, but he was warming up the other day.
Oh. Tried to give himself a little bit of room there, and Parkinson's thrown that in flat and wide. And I think that's off the toe end of the bat past the keeper and has trickled away down in front of us for 4.
I think Bryden Coss, we were originally told he was going to be out for about 8 weeks, but I think he's
around
coming along better than...
Spoke to him this morning,
100 up.
Nothing about cricket, as you don't normally speak about cricket, to be fair, but he looked in good shape. As you say, the 100 comes up for Durham, 100 for 3. It's Parkinson. Turner again gives himself room, and Parkinson will be very disappointed with that as he lets that one go through. It's missed time by Turner. Allows another single. 101 for 3. Turner just starting to tick. He moves on to 22. He's had a bit more strike than Robinson since he's come in. Robinson on 35. As Parkinson comes in, and Robinson clips this one out into the leg side. And Turner thinking about a second. I think Kimber's probably come in a few yards off the rope down at that far end. And it's just a single. 102 for 3. Robinson on 36 from 24. Turner 22 from 13. And he gets a rank ball toss that he manages to beautifully nick past the keeper for 4 more. Couldn't hit it in a better place apart from over the rope.
That was filthy.
Yeah, that wasn't great cricket from all of us. But Turner will take it, and Durham will take it, and they move on to 106 for 3. Turner on to 26.
1 ball left of the 14th.
As Parkinson round the wicket, and Turner, a little bit of a leading edge. And that ends the afternoon for Parkinson. Just having a look there. I think it's none for 29 off his 4. And Durham 106 for 3 after 14.
Yeah, could set up a website, filthycricket.com.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a great result for Ashton Turner.
Bit of a discussion going on down below with the skipper and Nazim Shah. Shah comes back onto bowl. 2 overs earlier, none for 11.
Pakistani speedster.
Comes in, right arm over. Pulled by Robinson, up and over, mid-on.
Oh.
And it pitches and sort of plugs a bit.
Bit of backspin. You'd be happy with that on the golf green, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right next to the pin. 2 runs instead of 4.
Thought that
Bit
might
of a divot there, replace your divot.
might have kicked on that one, but yeah, definitely checked in the outfield. He's going to bring fine leg up now and push long on, back down just to our right-hand side.
Lewis Kimber fielding down below us on our right.
Running from long on to long on, as some of them do. Need the old push bike.
Shot to Robinson again. Robinson ramps him. And knowing that Hull's come up from fine leg to the discs, he's put it over the top of him. He chases after it and stops it going for 4 right next to the boundary rope. Far into the ground. Nice shot, though.
It's a good chase, that, as well, from Hull. I thought they might have got 4, then
Long
at
legs.
least 3. He's kept them to 2.
Robinson's on 40. His highest score was that 64 not out last week
At Leeds,
at
wasn't it?
Leeds. With a 50 there for Durham last year. Got a 50 on Monday here against Notts.
He must be loving life up here right
Yeah.
now.
Shah in. And he cuts at that and it's
So
away for
clever.
4. Very clever. Nice use of the wrists. And you've got a gully and a backward point, and he's put it between the two of them, down to third man for 4.
What I've loved about this over so far, Shah's bowled him a short ball and he's hit that over mid-on. So they've brought fine leg up, dropped mid-on to long on. He's then ramped him over fine leg. So they've dropped fine leg and brought third man up, and then he's cut that one past third man. That's really clever batting from Ollie Robinson.
There's Mervyn at the far end of the ground in his
Swerving Mervyn.
cricket sweater. He was complaining the other day he wasn't allowed to sit in his favourite spot, but he's back over there today near the sight screen. A Yorker from Shah, and it's dug out by Robinson, who goes for a quick single, and the stumps are absolutely blasted by Colin Ackerman running in from mid-off. He's got his straw boater on as well, hasn't he? Which cricket club colours are there? MCC, are they?
Well, we got the egg and bacon.
Yeah. His MCC hat. Those hats.
The old Panamas.
Yeah. In the Lord's shop, they're about 55, 60 quid.
Oh, they cash in on the brand, that is for sure.
2 balls left of this 15th over. Turner waits for a slower one and cuts it hard off towards Parkinson on the point boundary. The throw coming back to the keeper's end. Turner's already back there, though. Good running.
Yeah, it's excellent running there from Turner. It was a clever slower ball from Naseem Shah. He waited on it, and there's the 50 partnership up between these two off just 28 balls. Turner, the main contributor, having probably faced more balls in the partnership. He's on 28. And Ollie Robinson has contributed 21 to that partnership. He's on 45.
Here comes Shah. Ooh. Now that was angling right in to the bottom of off stump, and Turner's played it to backward point, stopped by Ryan Ahmed. He gets a single. End of the over. Just had a bit of late swing on it, that, didn't it?
Yeah, it did
That
tail.
reminded me of sitting behind the bowlers in that the 92 Test match at Lord's, Pakistan against England, and I remember Ian Botham and Gatting being absolutely, I think it was Gatting getting absolutely cleaned up by the late swing.
Definitely had a bit of tail on that one. Naseem Shah Turner did well to get a bat on it and then nearly got it away for 4 down to third man, but Ahmed did well to prevent that going. He's now going to have a bowl again from the Lumley end. Durham 1-8 for 3. And Turner slog sweeps this, but manages to get it behind square. He'll just get the single. He moves on to 30. Durham 119 for 3. Ollie Robinson on 45.
Robinson's had 4 half centuries.
Ahmed comes into Robinson, who pushes this one to long on. Turner again quickly through, but Kimber prevents the second run. 20 for 3.
As well as his 50, his 64 at Leeds this year, 64 not out. He got 50 there last year, 56 in 2022. He's also got 50 this week against Notts.
As Ahmed comes in and Turner slog sweeps this one and gets a healthy piece of this as it goes out towards the scoreboard for 6. Ashton Turner just putting his foot down here, and as Durham look to accelerate. 126 for 6. Ashton Turner moves on to 36.
Well, that was a lovely shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's such a good player. Like I've probably said before.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Last year when he dislocated his shoulder, second match, when I interviewed him a few weeks ago when he got back here, he said he felt like he hadn't been able to prove himself last year because he wasn't fit. And he wanted to come back and show people what he was capable of doing. So.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled with him coming back. So Ahmed comes in again, and this one's driven out to extra cover, and Robinson might look to come back for 2, but it's a good bit of fielding out in the deep that prevents that.
Did he grow up over your back fence?
He's a Fremantle boy, yeah.
South of you, then,
yeah. After over the fence and through the river, and
yeah, it's nice at Fremantle.
It's a beautiful spot. Beautiful spot. A lot of friends from down that way. So Ahmed comes in, and Robinson tickles his fine. And a little bit of fumble from Hull. And will Robinson come back for 2? He will. A little bit sloppy there from the big fella. As Robinson sneaks back for a second, 129 for 3. Durham just building a bit of momentum here as they get into the back end of the innings.
He's on 48 now from 30 balls.
Ahmed, last ball of the over. This one's tucked out into the leg side. And they'll settle for the single out there. Ends the over. 4 remaining. Was it 4 remaining or 5? 4 remaining, sorry. The ends the 16th. Durham 130 for 3. And we'll be looking for a score of 170 plus here as they go into
12 off that over.
Yep, the final phase. Ollie Robinson, 1 run away from a well-deserved half century, came in after back-to-back wickets were taken by Hull for Leicester.
We did a boat trip on the Swan River.
Yep.
Down from Perth, down to Fremantle.
And you go to the wineries out at Midland?
I can't remember that bit, but what I do remember is we got on the boat this day and the London Philharmonic Orchestra were on the boat because they were in town playing a concert that night, and a few of them brought instruments with them and got this impromptu concert on the boat. It was good fun.
Was it a sunset cruise? Or was it during the day?
It was just an afternoon.
Yeah.
Coming back into the attack is Naveen Ul-Haq. Oh, and cut down into the ground in bottom edge there from Robinson. Shortish ball, no run. That was lovely. But we did drive down to Fremantle and had a Sunday afternoon visit there one day. That was nice.
It's quite a popular Sunday drinking spot, actually, down on the riverbank, the left bank.
The America's Cup. It's been there.
1987. Yeah.
So we were there 5 years later. Friends Rob Romeo, who played cricket in Perth, he lived in Como. Yeah. In comes the bowler, pulled by Robinson. There's another 50 for him, his 3rd in this year's competition, and it comes in 33 balls, and he's hit 6 fours.
Yeah, brilliant innings from Robinson. So really enjoying his move up to the northeast. Was here on loan for the Blast last season, and once they got to know him, and there was no doubt that they wanted to sign him permanently, he took the risk to come up to the northeast, a long way from Kent up here. But his kind of pathway blocked there with Sam Billings and Jordan Cox ahead of him in the pecking order, and he's really grabbed this opportunity as a wicketkeeper, literally with both hands. He's batted beautifully, and his keeping standards have been outstanding as well. It's a pleasure to watch him.
It's his 3rd 50 in a week. isn't it?
Yeah.
Bowler in now. Turner smacks that towards us. Has he got enough of it? He has. It clears the ropes and hits the fence down below us. 6 runs.
It was like a baseball home run. That just gave himself a little bit of room and pulled it straight back over the bowler's head down towards our commentary position and got a good piece of that. Durham moving on now, 137 for 3, and Turner quickly catching up to Robinson. He moves on to 43, just 21 balls. This is the exact reason why you sign an overseas player, is to make these differences in the game. Now fine leg is going to come up into the circle and long off is going to drop back.
What over's this? The 17?
Yeah. Halfway through.
137 for 3. Could be a low-scoring epic, this one, do you reckon? One sort of...
I think we're past the low score.
Yeah, like a 160 though, something like that.
I reckon 170 plus they're looking for. Paddled around the corner.
Turner nicely. There's a man down there who'll cut it off, though. He'll get 2. Just where the boundary rope on the castle side of the ground tapers round.
Rishi Patel down there, I think.
Don't think we've mentioned him at all in commentary.
Not much. 139 for 3 now. Turner ticking here. 45.
Nick Welsh is out on the cover boundary with his back to the pavilion. Parkinson's just inside the discs on that side as well. Little hop and a skip from Will Hack as he comes into bowl. That's gone down the leg side and is taken by the keeper and is signalled as a wide by Graham Lloyd.
Yeah. Well done, Wiggy.
Ian he's a bit late with that one. Ian points out this is Ashton Turner's highest T20 score for Durham.
Fantastic. Hopefully not the last that we see of him this afternoon, let alone in the future rounds. But yeah, hugely impressed with him on what he's done with the Perth Scorchers. Built a very, very positive franchise through his leadership.
He's facing this one from Mulhack. That was a wide-ish ball. I think if you'd left that, that would have been signalled as a wide. Instead, he's played it up to Ackerman at long off and only gets a single. The throw from Ackerman, not the best, missed by the keeper as well.
Got a dirty look from the umpires there with a double bounce throw. 141 for 3. Turner on 46 from 23. Robinson on 50.
Turner's highest score last year was 33. We'll hack in. Robinson drives and he finds Parkinson. Wide, mid-off, 1 run. He's not happy with that.
He's disappointed he's missed the gap.
End of the over. 17 gone. BBC Radio Newcastle with you. Durham put in by Leicestershire are 142 for 3. They lost Lees for 9 and Clark for 10. Both bowled in Josh Hull's first over. And they were 22 for 2. And then Michael Jones clipping a ball from Naveen Ul-Haq to Rayan Ahmed, a backward point, a low catch from him. He departed on 21. So there was 67 for 3 at that point. And these two have now taken them up to 142 for 3 after 17 overs. The partnership's 75 runs from 41 balls.
Be looking to keep pushing here, these two. Try and throw this innings towards the 180 mark. We saw Durham fall away the other night against Notts, didn't they? When Shane Shah Afridi, in particular, was pretty frugal at the back end. 9 runs coming from the last 2 overs. Durham could do with really pushing the foot down here. It's Ollie Robinson. 2 in batters, which is absolute dream scenario right now. We've got Hull back into the attack from the Lumley end. He comes around the wicket and Robinson manages to get this one time through extra cover. Not perfectly timed by the little man, but it goes away for 4 anyway. Again, just the sign of his brain and his cricket awareness there.
Right, this is now the joint highest 4th wicket stand for Durham against Leicestershire, equalling the 79 put on by Phil Mustard and Ben Stokes at Grace Road in 2013.
Fantastic stuff. It's coming a fair lick too between these two. It's Hull again, left arm around the wicket. Bowling to Robinson, and he pushes this one out into the offside, and we'll just get Turner back on strike. 147 for 3. Ollie Robinson on 56, Turner 46. He's really crept up there, hasn't he? He's been busy. He in particular will look to go large here in the back end of this innings.
So that is now the highest 4th wicket stand for Durham against Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. As Hull comes round the wicket, Turner gives himself some room and will be disappointed with third man up in the discs and circle, the sisks. He's missed out there, and that one goes through to Swindles behind the stumps for a dot ball. Just brightening up, isn't it? Clouds starting to clear. Lots of blue sky above us now. A really pleasant afternoon. Not the hot temperatures that we've seen over the last few days. A lovely way to spend your Sunday afternoon here at the Riverside. As Hull comes round the wicket and Turner gets right across his stumps and he's given out LBW. Well bowled from Hull, went full and straight. And that is the end of Ashton Turner. And Hull picks up his 3rd wicket. Just his 2nd game, you said, Marty?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done very, very well for Leicestershire. And that ends the record partnership, as Marty was saying. So Ashton Turner goes LBW to Hull for 46 from just the 25 balls. And Durham are 147 for 4. With a couple of balls remaining in the over.
17.3 gone, maybe?
In the 18th over. Wayne Parnell is the new batsman.
Came in and made 3 not out the other day against...
Coming out to bat with some boots that probably suit the Leicester kit more than the Durham kit, yeah.
Round of applause for Turner as he heads off, just 4 short of a half century.
Yeah, he deserved a 50 there. He batted really well, and after losing Jones there, pushed a brilliant partnership with Ollie Robinson. Had 2 batsmen in at the end of the innings, which is what you want. But he now goes. Parnell will pick up from where he left off, the left arm and left-handed batter from South Africa. Been around for a long time now, Wayne Parnell.
147 used to be Durham's average score in this format.
Going to go well past that. From a Durham point of view, we hope anyway. As the left-arm Hull bowls to the left-handed Parnell, who slices this one out 1 bounce to the sweeper on the offside. And he gets off the mark, 148 for 4. 1 ball remaining in the 18th over. This is where Durham struggled the other night against Nottinghamshire, just failing to get that score north of 180. I'm not sure it's a 180 pitch out here today. Not like there's quite as much pace and bounce in this pitch. But it's a good one all the same. That's Hull. Left arm round the wicket. And Robinson pulls this away and he will get 6-er! Beautiful shot there. I was a bit nervous that he'd hit that straight down square leg's throat. Hence the pause, but it's carried well clear of him. And that ends the over in excellent style. And Hull will be absolutely devastated to go for that 6. But that brings up the 150. In fact, Durham moved to 154 for 4. And Robinson rockets on to 62 and just a couple of runs away from his career best. Which, like you said, he picked up last Sunday in Leeds.
Yeah. So 64 on Sunday, 50 on Monday. He's got 62 today.
Get a Craig David song in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or Soft Cell.
With gratuitous mentions of Craig David in the song.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Worse than Pitbull.
Met him on a Monday. We had a next session on a Tuesday.
Smacked another 50 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, he's batting beautifully.
Nazim Shah back into the attack to finish his spell. Comes in and bowls. Gone down the leg side. That's a full toss down the leg side, really. It's a wide is signalled.
He's tried to take all the pace off that one and got it wrong.
Full 3 for 55. 3 for 35.
Wiggy a bit quicker there on the effects.
Not really.
It was nice that he's brought his son in Jude today, which was lovely to see him. All the way from Skipton.
Yeah, I was going to say he's coming from Skipperton.
Not on the bike. Loves a bike ride as well.
Ahmed bowled 4 overs, none for 38. Shah here then, starting this over again after the wide. And it's pulled by Parnell out through towards mid-wicket 4-2. Good running. He's got to get back quickly there. He does, and he stumbles past the keeper and nearly falls over in the process.
It was an ungainly 2, that.
Yeah.
Robinson cruising, and Parnell, I think, used every ounce of effort to get back for 2 there. 157 for 4. Thought he was going to fall face first there at one stage.
So Hack will finish the bowling at the other end after this over. Hack has 1 for 26 from his 3. And Shah at the moment, none for 26 from 3.1. Parnell's just getting his breath as Shah comes in from this Finkel end and bowls, and he's bowled him. He's absolutely cleaned him up. Middle stumps out the ground, and Parnell departs for another 3. Brief lives. There used to be a series on 5 Live.
Gave himself a little bit of room there, Parnell. Probably got the length that he wanted to try and hit that over the offside, but Shah squeezes that past the bat of Parnell, and middle stump is removed. He goes 3. Durham 157 for 5, as Liam Travaskis is the new batsman out in the middle. It's important that Durham keep this going and push up past 160, 170 and look to nudge 180 here, which will be a stretch at this stage. It's just 10 balls remaining in the innings. If they can finish with a few boundaries. Leicester, obviously, on the opposite side of that, will be looking to squeeze here and contain them as much as possible. As interesting one, as Ghosty Malander just checks the bat gauge over Liam Travaskis' bat as he comes in.
Don't want any more of that again.
No, we've seen that before, haven't we?
Well, last year,
Nick Maddinson,
that cost Durham points at Derbyshire, didn't it? In the championship. Was it 12 points in the end or something?
Did we not copper some in the T20 as well? Did they not throw it in? Can't remember.
No,
it was just championship points, was it? Yeah,
they got some points in the one-day cup, didn't they, for bad behaviour, I think it was.
Possibly.
Yeah. Shah into Travaskis, who drives at this one. It's gone past the point and off towards the boundary for 1. Yeah, the 2 points they won in the one-day cup at Somerset were then taken off them because of the totting up procedure.
Josh Hull there finishing with 3 for 35. It's a good afternoon's work for him. He'd have been happier there if that last ball hadn't been pongoed over the square leg boundary by Robinson. And look, at one stage, like I say, it was going to go down deep square leg's throat, but it just kept going.
Yeah. Shada Robinson. Oh, it's a slower ball. He's taken all the pace off that. And it's actually daisy cutted past Robinson.
Yeah.
Bobbled to the keeper. Clever.
There's a bit of a nod of admiration there from Robinson. It's like the ball was deflated as it hit the pitch and just died. But full credit to the bowler there for taking all the pace off that one. Pakistani international Naseem Shah. His figures of 1 for 27. He has 2 balls of his spell remaining. Durham 158 for 5.
Shah in, and it's played back to him by Robinson via the ground. Now what's he playing at? He's having a word with him, is he?
He's threatening to throw the ball back at him, which...
Hardy. He's got a smile on his face.
Yeah, all good-natured. Can't do that anymore. You get yourself a little ban.
Leicestershire's top's actually stripes.
Yeah,
green and light green and dark green stripes.
Yeah, some bottle green, isn't there? Quite subtle. Those famous Leicester colours of green.
Shah comes in, right arm over. It's a full toss, pulled away by Robinson up to long on for 1, fielded by Lewis Kimber.
It's a tidy over.
It's the end of Shah then.
If that one was just the 5 off that over.
It was a wide, wasn't it, to start with? What's the score now? 159, yeah. So he got a wicket as well.
So just keep an eye on that, as we talked about that not score the other night, where we only scored 9 off the last 2 overs.
I said this might be a 160er. We'll hack to finish then. So Shah 1 for 28 from 4 overs.
And that was pretty costly the other night against Nottinghamshire.
Yeah, however, I think about 15, 20 runs out in the middle on that occasion.
I still think they might have got those. The way that Notts batted them.
Yeah, well, Hales got them into such a good position early on. They were able to just ease, weren't they?
But obviously, that 20 runs is a lot of extra pressure on the batting side. Naveen ul Haq to bowl the last over of the innings. And this one's cut away by Robinson, and he'll get 4.
That's his highest score.
That's a beautifully placed shot there. Third man and backward point. Very fine backward point in the discs. He's managed to get that to Rishi Patel's right-hand side. And as soon as it left the bat, there was no doubt about it. It was heading down towards the old scoreboard for 4 runs.
Beats his 64 not out at Leeds last week. He's now on 67.
67 from just 41. And a good way to start the last over. Durham 163 for 5. Can they finish with a couple of boundaries? It's ul Haq. Bowls this one from very wide of the crease, and Robinson just mistimes his drive as this one goes out to the sweeper on the offside, who fires the ball in, and Rayan Ahmed out there and Swindles tidies up as the ground is now bathed in sunshine.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's freezing in this room, and everybody out there looks nice and warm.
We've got hoodies on. Well, I've got a hoodie on. You've got a jacket on.
Yeah. Might be putting my coat on in a minute.
Open the windows to let some warmth in.
Well, the problem is we're right down the barrel of the gun, so the
Yeah.
batsman would tell us to shut the window again. Man.
Definitely. Tell us a few more things.
I wonder if the breeze has got any warmer, because there was a bit of a chilly breeze earlier. But it's
Still-
amazing how this
Looks
cloud's
pretty
just
still.
melted away, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was really gloomy and grey when we got here.
Burnt off. It's beautiful now.
Yeah.
ul Haq, 4 deliveries remaining in the Durham innings. Durham 164 for 5. Left-hander Travascus on strike. He bowls around the wicket and he removes Travascus' leg stump. So
He's out for 1.
he's out for 1. And Leicestershire keep picking up wickets at the back end of the innings. Just looking who this is coming out to bat. Is it Toledo? Durham just stalling at the back end of the innings again. 164 for 6. As Basteleda joins Ollie Robinson out there. Johnny Bushnell in his blue vest takes a towel and a drink out to Ollie Robinson and maybe some fresh gloves.
He took a cracking catch as 12th man the other night.
He did. Well,
Backward diving catch.
missed a lot. I saw a still photo of it, which is
Yeah.
a brilliant photo. Unfortunately, didn't get to see any of the footage. But he's a brilliant fielder. Unfortunate for him, it might mean he's doing a lot of 12th man duties, because he's definitely one that you want on the park if you can. 3 balls remaining.
To go.
Yeah. 164. Can they get to 170? As Basteleda, who's a decent striker of the ball, on strike to ul Haq, pulls this away out into the leg side. This should come back for 2. And Ollie Robinson will turn and comfortably come back for a second. It's a score under 166 for 6. One of those in-between scores.
Yeah. So what was it? 5 off the last over.
Already got a few more, haven't they? Got 7 off this one so
Yeah.
far. 2 balls remaining. Can Durham get a boundary or 2? Or can Leicester, importantly, squeeze a wicket or another dot ball and restrict Durham to under 170, which I'm sure they'll be pretty happy with. As ul Haq comes, and again wide of the crease. Deleted. Just gets Robinson back on strike. A little bit surprised he hasn't had more of a dip than that, but maybe that was his instructions.
Bit of
167.
It bounced into the ground and then shot away along the floor to the discs. Parkinson fielding.
Hit the bat hard, didn't it?
Yeah. Last ball then. 167 for 6 here on BBC Radio Newcastle. Then we'll take a 10-minute break during the interval and then bring you the Leicestershire reply.
All the scouts are out now. Just trying to bring square leg in. Very interesting field. Square leg now in, and backward point and pointer out on the boundary. So I'm be looking for a wide Yorker here from Naveen as he comes in to bowl the last ball of the over, and not a wide Yorker at all. It's full and straight at the stumps, and it's nothing more than a single, and Durham will end their innings on 168 for 6. He's slightly disappointed to settle on that, but I guess at 22 for 2 in the power play, both teams are probably quite happy with where that's ended up. Ollie Robinson, a magnificent 69 not out. really held the Durham innings together there all the way through after that double breakthrough from Josh Hull, who, along with their overseas players, Naseem Shah picked up a wicket, Naveen Al-Haq picked up 2, and Durham 168 for 6. Will be defending for all their lives to try and get their 4th win out of 5 games.
Career best, 69 not out for Robinson. And the final bowling figures from Naveen Al-Haq, 2 for 35 from his 4 overs. So Hull, taking his first wickets in T20 today, finishes with 3 for 53. And Ahmed none for 38. Al-Haq 2 for 35. Parkinson none for 29. Shah 1 for 28. Durham really did need something to kickstart their innings after the early losses of Lees for 9 and Park for 10. They lost Jones for 21. But then that partnership of 80, Durham's best. For a 4th wicket against Leicestershire, Turner making 46 of them, and then Robinson not out on 69. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes' time, and we'll be bringing you the Leicestershire reply then. Right, let's see how this pans out then. Durham defending 168. They went along at 8.4, so the required run rate for Leicestershire is 8.45. And the openers are heading out there. Liam Travaskis is going to open the bowling. And we've got Lewis Hill and Nick Welsh, the opening pair. And it's Welsh who will take a strike. Travaskis bowling spin in his sunglasses, his white-rimmed sunglasses. In his 59th T20 for Durham. And here he comes. First ball is played away by Welsh up to Nathan Souter, who's fielding just down below our commentary position at long on. Two right-handers here at the top of the order for Leicestershire. Welsh playing in his 22nd game. He's got 565 runs. He's got 2 50s. He's born in Harare in Zimbabwe, and his highest score was in their tournament. 68 for the Eagles against the Rhinos earlier this year. Travaskis, left arm round. This is played out through mid-wicket 4-1. Picked up by Basteleda. So that's Hill off the mark. Hill is playing in his 81st. He's got 1,003 runs now with that one, and he's got 3 50s, including a high score of 59 against Worcestershire at New Road 2 years ago. Welsh once again finds Deleda out at deep mid-wicket. The sun is shining brightly. It's freezing in this building. I've put my coat on. And I went next door to check on our colleagues from Radio Leicester. They've got the window open. It's even colder in there.
It's beautiful out the back.
Travaskis bowls again. Little floater. Bit of drift on that one. It's just gone short towards square leg. And leg bye going to be signalled? No.
No,
Bit of
little
bat on it.
scratch, I think.
Yeah.
I went round the back to see if the ice cream queue had died down for us, but
Oh.
she was long.
Travaskis in again. And another single. There's been a single off every delivery this over. There's one ball left. He's gone and retrieved it himself as it's played off towards where mid-on should be, but isn't because we've got a long on instead. Sun shining brightly here in Chester Street. You can hear music, which I presume's from a stage out in the car park out the back of the pavilion. Full toss to finish the over, and that's gone off towards deep mid-wicket. They'll get 2 here.
Breaks up the picket fence.
Yeah, so that is 7 from the first over. Durham started with 9 from the first over.
Yeah. Pretty unspectacular start there. Both teams will settle for that. So Welsh do some damage here in the second team.
Stuart Manger questioning whether Durham have got enough. Surely it's not enough, he says. Meanwhile, in Sedbergh, it's cloudless and hot.
Yeah, not quite cloudless here, but the temperature isn't hot either.
No.
It's a very pleasant afternoon, though.
I think it was only about 14 degrees the high today.
Yeah, it's broken up nicely. Weather.
There's a few in T-shirts now in the
Oh, yeah,
County Durham
it's
stand.
quite nice out the back. Like I said, over where all the vendors are. The
Parnell
family
gonna
fun
bowl?
zone. It is Wayne Parnell is going to open the bowling from the Lumley end. His lime green boots.
He's played for just about everybody. 20 plus franchises, 266 T20 matches. Took 9 wickets in the IPL for the Royal Challengers Bangalore. He's got 270 wickets in all.
Starting with a slip in place, Michael Jones keeping Ollie Robinson company as he comes in. Left arm over the wicket, and that's a wide first ball.
Nearly hit Jones.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad as Parmesan at the
No.
Gabba. Oh, what an anti-climax, but not far off. Who's Parnell played for in this country then? He won the T20 with Worcestershire
Definitely at Worcester.
3 years ago. He's been at Kent, Sussex, Glamorgan and Worcestershire. Northants, now Durham. He's almost Imran Tahir-like, isn't he?
Yeah. Got Marcus North covered, I think,
Yeah.
just. As he comes in now. Left arm over the wicket. Good pace. Bit of shape into the right-hander. And Welsh dabs it down onto the offside and picks up at a single. Keep rotating the strike, these two. Leicester move on to 9 without loss.
Lewis Hill began. Do you remember that team, the Unicorns? They were
Yes.
nomadic, weren't they? He started with them 2012, 2013.
The minor counties select 11.
Yeah. Made his Leicestershire debut in 2015.
Parnell left arm over the wicket. This one swings in. And it's clipped away out into the leg side. And he'll pick up 2. Does Lewis Hill. Moves the score on to 11 without loss.
I think Chesney Hughes has got a load of runs for Derbyshire. I think he started with the Unicorns.
There's a few knocking around. They've got opportunities, which is the idea of it.
They played in the One Day Cup for a period. Didn't
They did, yeah.
Back in the days when Scotland were in it as well. That must be 10 years ago since Scotland
was,
pulled out.
Yeah. This one's again short and wide. No wide signal from the umpire.
In fact, it was 2013 when the Ashes test was on here.
Yeah.
And on the Saturday night, having covered the day's play here, I drove up to Glasgow because Durham played Scotland in a one-day game the next day at Titwood.
Right.
And I covered it. And the guy who was in charge of media and stuff for Cricket Scotland at the time said that was going to be their last season in that format because they hadn't made any progress.
Okay. This one's ramped. But off the thigh pad, or is there a bit of glove? Just leg by as it signalled.
Mr. Malander says it's off the thigh pad.
Yeah, as it trickles down to fine leg for 4 leg buys. But important boundary there for Leicestershire. as they move on to 15 without loss.
I think in 2013, the last year that Scotland played in the One-Day Cup competition, the only points they got that year were from a rained-off game.
The runner's course then.
Yeah.
That's Parnell in again. And this one's pulled out into the leg side, and it will beat Graham Clark out there, who does his very, very best to pull that in. But it's another boundary, and Leicestershire off to a bit of a flyer here. 19 without loss. 1 ball remaining in the second over.
Stewart was a little bit of surprise to see a ball bouncing past her there, because she's sitting on a chair beyond the boundary, just in front of the fencing, but she's got her back to the action.
Yeah, they're all kind of sitting side on, aren't they? Trying to keep an eye on the action and the crowds. As Parnell comes in to bowl the last ball of the second over, and this one's full. And we've seen a few of those in the Durham innings. This one's edged away down to third man for 4, and Leicestershire 23 without loss after 2.
They're 10 ahead of where Durham were after 2. That was not the best of overs, was
An
it?
expensive over there from Wayne Parnell. Has it gone for what? 16?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry, it was 16, but 4 leg byes as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's got none for 12. But yeah, expensive over as Basteleda is going to bowl from Finkel end.
Now, he was expensive against Notts on Monday.
He has gone, but he's taken wickets at the same time, hasn't he? Picking up Butler early doors the other night.
Yeah, it's had Chris Lynn and David Willey at Northampton. You've got Johnny Bairstow when Yorkshire were here in the county championship. Netherlands international, right arm over, comes in and bowls. It's down the leg side, and he starts with a 4. And from a discipline point of view, this is not a good start with the ball from Durham. And at the moment, that target of 169 doesn't look far away. But wickets, of course, change things. But Durham's got to sort their lines out here with the ball.
They do, and I tell you, this would be making Luke Robinson extremely nervous at the way that these guys have started. On debut here, we'll get a crack with the ball very shortly, I'm sure.
Later in again, and that thumps in off the thigh pad. Quicker delivery, it was a roundabout leg stump. The run, a leg by, will be signalled by Graham Lloyd eventually. It was a bit balletic, that, wasn't it?
Ben Rain has a token throw at the stumps, and it's hit Deleda right in the backside. I'm not sure he's as comfortable out there, Basteleda. Signalling over towards the Durham dugout. Away to our left.
Hills on 14, 28 without loss, Leicestershire. Deleda in, and that's flicked in the air. Didn't quite carry to Turner at short mid-wicket, and he throws it at the stumps at the non-striker's end and takes the near stump out the ground. But Welsh was in his spot, so he's okay. It's plane flying northwesterly. Where that's off to. Afternoon flight to Chicago, wasn't it?
Any Rod Stewart signs, or the who?
There's another one taking off, took off from Newcastle, coming past us now. Jet 2. Deleda in, bowls, and this should be a caught and bowled, or didn't quite carry. He was looking to ramp that one, and he's towed it back towards the bowler. Didn't quite reach him.
Yeah, he's trying to ramp Deleda there. Got the toe end. Didn't quite carry back to the bowler, and he's followed through. Just keeping an eye on Basteleda here. I'm not sure he's that comfortable out there at the moment. A couple of good deliveries to pull back from the start here. Now here they're playing.
Well, that's going to Rhodes from Newcastle. This is pulled. Oh, just beats the diving left hand of Turner, and it's away through mid-wicket for 4. From Hill.
Off to a fly. Hill moves on to 18.
The other plane is just over Bellingham in Northumberland. And that is Istanbul Turkish Airlines from Istanbul to Houston. Been to Houston before. 2 years in a row, we've got the same security guard at passport control who sent us to the back of the queue.
Oh, never.
But Daisy cut a pass leg stump and through to the keeper. End of the over. So 2 boundaries from it and a leg by. 32 for none after 3.
Travascus
overhead.
Yeah, they're well ahead. Ben Rain is going to join the attack. Ollie Robinson calling for the helmet, is going to stand up to the stumps.
Rain's the partnership breaker. The former Leicestershire man, of course.
Yeah. Durham to Leicester and then back home to Durham.
He got their first century in a T20. I think it was 113 in Birmingham. He's approaching a milestone for Durham as well, I think. 2 wickets. He needs 2 wickets for 100 in T20.
That's Ben Rain. Right arm over the wicket from the Finkel end. Ball's fallen straight with a bit of nip. And Welsh just defends this one out into the leg side with the help of his pad. 32 without loss, Leicestershire.
13 years ago today, sitting here as this stadium was unveiled as the Emirates Durham International Cricket Ground.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's Ben Rain in again, and this one's clipped away, and this will go for 4. I think it's going to take some stopping, Clark's done very well, and then
he's messed it up.
Hasn't done very well. He's done well to get there, and then parried it into the Toblerones.
He looked like he'd got there, and he was trying to pat it back
Probably a bit too close
Robinson,
to it,
and he just slid along instead. Yeah, the guy who chose the name, and you didn't have much to work with because you needed the airline who were the stadium sponsors in the title somewhere. But he was a Yorkshireman, and I think he won a free return flights to Australia.
So Leicestershire on the move, 36 on the tins without loss. As Ben Rain comes into bowl, this one's full and straight and driven beautifully past mid-on for 4. Nick Welsh moves on to 16, and these two are eating into this Durham total, and already 40 on the board.
Got them off to a flyer, haven't they? Worcestershire 178 for 6 at New Road against Northants, who are now 20 without loss. Kent made 173 for 5 in Canterbury, Surrey 39 for none in reply.
As Rain comes in, and this one's driven to mid-off firmly for no run.
Somerset 150 all out in Taunton. Essex 24 for 1. Glamorgan 219 for 5. Big scorers there at Hove. Sussex just starting their reply are 6 without loss in the first over. Lancashire made 145 at Trent Bridge. Bowled out for 145.
As Rain comes in, and this one's pushed away down to Jones on the discs, but it's through for a single is Welsh, and the score moves on to 41 without loss. Welsh on 17, Hill on 18.
I think Lancashire won their first 3, then they've lost the next 3, haven't they? Right?
Yeah.
So Durham beating them here the other day. Knott's about to start their reply then, so the target 146 there.
Big bottleneck, isn't there, in the North Group? Everybody seems to have got a reasonable start, apart from Leicester, who have got a more than reasonable start here today in this chase. 41 without loss. Ben Rain, last ball of the over. Has he chopped on? No. Little bottom edge there. Must have been perilously close to the off stump, but he survives. Does Welsh. And after 4 overs, the Foxes are 41 without loss.
And that was the over where Durham lost 2 wickets and only got 2 runs. So 22 for 2 against 41. Middlesex 139 for 9 in Bristol. Gloucestershire 26 for 1 in reply. Middlesex traditionally among the 5 worst teams in this format over the last 20-odd years, along with Derbyshire, Durham, Middlesex, Worcestershire, and I think Glamorgan might have been the other team who were all the first to 100 defeats. This is Travasca's back into the attack, and this is driven, and it should go for 4. Jones is chasing after it, but he's going to have to give up now because it's beaten him to the rope.
Lovely shot from Welsh, punching that through a very small gap between Ashton Turner on the drive and Michael Jones at mid-off. And the perfect start so far for the Foxes.
They've got off to a flyer here, and Durham need a wicket. They're nearly on 50, 45 for none after 4.1 overs. Travascus to Welsh, who's on 21, and he plays this out in towards the covers, and it's missed, and it's going to be 4 more. The outfield is really quick, and Clark diving across to his right couldn't get on top of that one.
Poor ball there from Travascus, full toss. Not perfectly timed. However, the ball has raced away, like you said, Marty, across his fast outfield. Welsh, 25 not out already. The Foxes are 49 now without loss.
More balls of the over to go. The first two went for fours. This is flicked down to Souter at long on for one. Welsh moves on to 26, and that's the 50 up in 4.3 overs.
Yeah, excellent start from Leicestershire. Nathan Souter's going to be a crucial figure in this. He's bowled brilliantly so far for Durham in this campaign.
Next ball comes in. It's floated right in towards leg stump. It's gone to backward. Square leg, no run. Turner gets it at the second attempt. Next ball played short on the leg side. There will be a single. Turner throws it at the stumps. It's missed. It's backed up by Jones at the bowler's end. Lively start then for Leicestershire.
51 on the board now. Last ball of the fifth. And this one's again driven through the covers for four more. Over pitch by Travascus, and I'm not sure if that's a little fist even pump there from Welsh. That one races away through the covers for four more. 55 after 5. Really eating into this Durham total. Just 114 needed to win. See Wayne Parnell rejoin the attack. That's where Durham need their overseas player to really stand up here. Expensive first over from him. He went for 12, and with the leg byes, actually the over went for 16 as he bowls now. And Hill just dabs this out into the offside, and they collect a comfortable single. 56. Without loss. Hill on 20, Welsh on 30. Lovely afternoon here. Now at the Riverside. Parnell is going to have a crack around the wicket to Welsh. He comes in now, and this one's bowled him! He's played on! And a huge wicket there for Durham as Leicestershire were just putting this game beyond the reach of Durham with that start. With a little bit of angle back into the right-handed batsman. He's played it onto his stumps. And a big wicket. The opening partnership is broken as Welsh goes. Bowled Parnell for 30. 6 fours coming off just 16 balls. That gives Durham a little glimmer. Hope, as I believe it's Rishi Patel is the new batsman coming out to the crease. A much needed wicket there for the home side.
.56 for one, and they need another 113 to win.
So he gets a nice round of applause, and rightly so, for a good start there for the visitors. Just when Durham needed their overseas player to step up, Turner did it with the bat, and Parnell breaks the opening partnership. Hopefully they can transfer a little bit of pressure from their point of view back onto the batting side. We're off to an absolute flyer.
And now we have the most second famous Rishi in the country.
It's Parnell round the wicket. And I bet he's got a better forward defence than Rishi Sunak, as that one is pushed nicely and comfortably back to the bowler for a dot.
Born in Chigwell in Essex. Been there, that was where Tottenham Hotspur's training ground used to be, in Sparrows Lane. Used to have to go up there to interview David Pleat back in the day when I was working for 5 Live.
Okay.
Some big houses round there behind some pretty hefty security fencing.
Parnell left arm round the wicket, and is this down the leg side? And it is a wide. Yeah, just had a little think about it there, umpire Malander.
Rishi Patel was at Essex's academy.
Yep.
And, was with them from 2015 till 2019. He's played for Cambridge University and Hertfordshire in the minor counties as well. Joined Leicestershire 3 years ago. 529 runs, his highest, 57 against Yorkshire last year.
It's Parnell. This one's driven back through his legs. Whoop! And Alex Lees, by throwing the ball back to the wicketkeeper, nearly collects the non-striker. He'll manages to duck for cover and get out of the way of that one.
He got into the 40s a few times last season. He made 40 against Durham, 42 against Worcestershire, and 44 against Derbyshire this year.
My bat sponsor would be very happy right now. The two gentlemen at the crease as Parnell comes in. Patel hits this one to Jones on the discs. Direct hit. There's been a lot of direct hits today without having any run-outs. And that one is another single, and Patel is off the mark. 58 for one.
As well as being named after a man who actually played minor counties for Durham. Is there a town called Kippax?
Yeah, there is in Yorkshire. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The Kippax was an end at one of the football stadiums, wasn't it?
Oh, Mike, is it Leeds? Maybe. As Parnell comes in, and this is slapped over the covers. Not perfectly timed. But it'll be at least two. And that's all it is, too. There's excellent fielding out there. A good chase.
It was the
Bent's a second.
it was that huge terrace which ran down one side of Main Road where Man City played.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And to end the power play, the Foxes are on 60 for one.
20 ahead and a wicket better off than Durham.
Yeah. Lewis Hill on 22. Rishi Patel just new to the crease. Probably Durham's best bowler over the T20 campaign so far. Nathan Souter comes into the attack. We bowl some leg spin. Running away from us here at the Finkel end. Durham can now send out a few scouts. They're going to have to pick up some wickets here because Leicestershire well in control. After an excellent power play from their point of view. Like Marnie said, they're 20 runs ahead on the comparisons.
Souter then to bowl from the Finkel end, our end of the ground. We're looking right down the track here. And the first ball is played by Patel down to Jones at long on, 1 run. Sun is shining brightly here in Chesley Street. Durham in their bright yellow tops and dark blue bottoms. Leicestershire in lightish green with the tops have got light green and dark green stripes. Dark green looks a bit like grass stains, doesn't it? Souter in, bowls, and played down to long on, long off to Turner, 1 run. Durham will be playing Leicestershire again on Friday night down at Grace Road. I'll be there for that one. Souter comes in, bowls, inside edge and misses the stumps.
Clever bit of bowling there from Souter. Beats Patel on the inside edge.
He's played it onto his back foot and it ricocheted past the stumps and hit the keeper.
Really dragging it on.
He's on 2, Patel. This is turned away out through mid-wicket.
Getting some nice drift, isn't he, Souter? Into the bowler, into the batsman, sorry. Which means he's putting some nice energy onto the ball.
63 for 1, another 106 to win. They're well ahead of DLS, even though that's not going to be anything to think of today. This one skids in low. Souter can't reclaim his own ball. It's played away by Hill. Down to Jones at long on for 1. Hill on 24 now from 19 balls.
Michael Jones is getting a little ticking off there from the umpire for throwing the ball on the pitch. Trying to soften the ball. They don't like that, the umpires.
Here comes Souter again, and it's a cut down into the ground. It's bounced back, hit the keeper, and missed the stumps somehow. Twice he could have had him in that over.
Great start from Souter, just the 4 off the over. And he all summer has provided Durham with some real control. And exciting moment for Luke Robinson as he's about to bowl his first over from the Lumley end. Absolutely thrilled to be commentating on it. I'll try to be kind, as he'll no doubt be nervous. The young right arm quick from the Philadelphia Cricket Club, 19 years old. Goes to school right here at this ground in the Parkview Academy of Sport. We'll be really excited. Friends and family in the ground today on a beautiful afternoon here at Chesley Street. And here he comes, running in, right arm over the wicket. And it's a good start from Robinson as this one's just tucked away out into the leg side.
If you missed it earlier, we were saying he took 6 wickets in 6 balls for Philadelphia under-13s in a cup tie against Langley Park a few years ago, and his mum was scoring as well.
Yeah. I think to wind him up on his 18th birthday, a few of his mates got a picture of that on a T-shirt for him. But hopefully the nerves will now be gone as he runs in again. And with some good pace, this one's just pushed out into the leg side.
He's obviously grown a bit then, because you said he was quite diminutive.
Yeah, he's lots taller than his mum and dad now, and his younger brother's even taller than him. So, yeah, exciting. He's an exciting player as well. Young Matthew, who's another Parkview kid. He'll be coming into my academy next year, which I'm excited to work with him. As Robinson comes in, bowls him! Well done, Luke.
Third ball.
Crowd absolutely go mad. And where there were 3 stumps, there's now 1 as Luke Robinson picks up his first wicket, and his Durham teammates are absolutely thrilled. There's hugs and high fives and the likes going round. Absolutely delighted for him. Gets his career off to a flying start. And more importantly, in the match perspective, picks up a really important wicket. As Lewis Hill is gone now.
25.
Bowled by Robinson for 25. And Durham pick up back-to-back wickets.
Well, I was talking to one of the Leicestershire people earlier today, and they said that they were missing a number of players with injury, but they have a long tail. So Colin Ackerman is now the new man in. He was their skipper, very experienced player indeed.
Yeah, he has. And as you said, world record holder. I don't know if he still is, but at one stage anyway, for T20 bowling more than his batting. Picking up 7 for Luke Robinson, right arm over the wicket. Bowls, and this hits the outside edge of Ackerman's bat, but it goes down to third man for a single. Just see there's crowds back involved in the game here after an excellent start from Leicestershire. They've lost 2 wickets now. 67 for 2. Still on top, you would say, but Durham just clawing their way back into this game. Sorry if I got a bit excited there on comms. As Robinson comes in, right arm over the wicket, and this one thuds into Rishi Patel's thigh pad and goes away for a leg bye. 68 now for 2. 2 new batsmen at the crease, importantly from a Durham point of view. Patel just on 4 and Ackerman 1, having faced the 1 ball. Robinson, the last ball of his first over in professional cricket. He bustles in, and this one's pitched up and driven beautifully. Just a little bit over pitch there, and Colin Ackerman absolutely drills that through the covers for 4. Just takes a bit of the buzz out of the over, but that's an excellent start from Robinson. He goes for 7 in his first over, but picks up the first wicket for himself.
It was nice to see his family on the field when he got presented with his cap by Callum Thorpe, the former Durham bowler, and then they came and joined the little circle.
Yeah, it was nice. Stephen, his dad, Helen, his mum, his younger brother Matthew, his girlfriend Harriet were all there out on the ground, which was a really nice touch from Durham and a lovely moment for him and the family.
Souter to continue then after his first over went for 4 from the Finkel end, and this is driven down the ground by Patel to Jones long on for 1. Chris Sharp says Chris Silverwood is from Kipax.
Okay.
A pit village between Garforth and Castleford.
Yeah. Well, the actual Kipax bat factory is not far from Castleford, a little village called Methley.
Right.
So see Peter Kipax.
Wasn't there a pit at Methley as well?
I've got no doubt. It'd be full of them around that area.
This is played off towards point for 1 run by Ackerman. Moves on to 6.
Yeah.
Garforth's the southeast corner of Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah,
Around
just
the
around there.
motorway.
Yeah, Leeds South is the turn off for it.
Yeah.
Do it in my sleep now.
This is cut by Patel off towards the point boundary for 1. Alistair Smith's just tweeted Luke in capital letters with 2 exclamation marks.
I think I was about that excited when he bowled him, to be fair.
If you want to tweet, it's at Marty Cricket on Twitter or Ash Thorpe.
I don't even know what mine is. 25 maybe.
This is played back to Souter. Yeah. Look, I tweeted you this earlier.
Yeah, you
Ash
did,
Thorpe
There
25,
you go.
and it's an E on the Thorpe as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Cal.
Souter in again, and again
that's
it's a
good.
return ball. He dives on top of it. It bounces off his knee. They're going to get a quick single. He's running around like a crazy man at the minute. Calm yourself down. Determined to go after everything here.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed to let one squeeze through for a run. Very proud of his economy rate. Nathan Souter, the boy from Blacktown in Sydney.
Is that just over your back fence?
That's a long way from my back fence.
In again. This is driven down the ground. This is the end of the over. 1 run. Patel will keep striking. So he's gone for 1, 2, 3, 5 off the over. So none for 9 now. His Souter's, I think he said his grandmother lives in Morpeth or came from Morpeth.
Up in Northumberland somewhere, yeah. Spent some time at Middlesex. He's with the Oval Invincibles in that other competition. Luke Robinson's going to have a spell where he can just calm himself down a little bit after that. Ben Rain's going to come into the attack. As Durham try and get a few quiet overs in here as Leicestershire eat into this Durham total. As Ben Rain comes in now. This one's fallen down the leg side and tidy work from Robinson.
Stuart Dick
Wide.
says, I'm just 2 miles from Methley these days.
Oh, cool.
Well, he's down Castleford way. isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Wakefield,
Las Vegas.
The Rhubarb Triangle.
Yeah, so Peter Kipax, who had the brand, was a minor counties player for Durham, a leg spinner. His son Chris now taking over the business. As rain comes in. Does that bowled him?
Stumping they're appealing for. Oh, you've got a good view down there, mate.
Howare umpire
Yeah.
from the crowd.
Says a woman sitting at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, we're a little bit blindsided here from see the thick of Ollie Robinson's back. It's an excellent take, no matter what's happened there. Getting plenty of advice, Graham Lloyd from the crowd. Reminds me of a cup tie back in the day. As Ben Rain, a slower ball, and I think this one's sliding down leg side as there's an appeal. But a little bit of a squeeze here from Durham.
Just going down the leg side. Yeah.
That's what Durham want, just to try and build a bit of pressure, although Rishi Patel, a fine player, and Ackerman, very experienced at the other end, also a very fine player. Just trying to get back into the game here, Durham. As Ben Rain comes in and Patel goes across his
Nice. I thought he'd walked out of his crease there. I thought he was going to be stumped.
Tries to sweep it and might have copped it somewhere in the mid-rift, to put it kindly. Just going to take his time. I think Ackerman's just going to say, listen, mate, we're ahead of the game here. No need to panic.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
2 balls left in the over. As rain comes in, and this one's fallen straight, and it's probably hit badly enough to get 2, but Ackerman says no, as Robinson does the fielding at long on and does very well to stop a second run there. It's a round of applause from the crowd who'll back the young fella here on debut. So the Foxes from Leicester, 79 for 2. Last ball, the 9th over. And this one's just pushed back by Rain. So a really good squeeze here from Durham. The last few, there was a wide, wasn't there, to start off? Sorry, there's another ball left in the over. I think a few of the crowd, like me, thought that was done. just starting to pull themselves back into the game here with a little squeeze after a couple of wickets. A few tied overs. Led by Nathan Souther and Luke Robinson, and Ben Rain. Finishes it's over now. Top ball. Good crowd catch. Good bit of work by Souther at backward point.
Thought he got under that there.
A token appeal from the lads. But another dot ball. So that ends an excellent Ben Rain over. Just the one run and a wide off the over. So
just looking through my Durham yearbook to see the professional playing back in a 2-page spread on Tristan Stubbs, who never even came.
Surprised I haven't just put an X through the page. Yeah.
10 gone then.
Halfway. 79 for 2, just ahead.
Durham was 67 for 2.
Yeah. Couple of good partnerships for Durham at this stage.
In comes the bowler, Travaskis. This is a reverse sweep it away for 4 out the middle of the bat from Patel.
It's an excellent shot that there. Patel, long and languid right-handed batsman. A beautiful flow of the bat there. Puts Travaskis under some pressure. First ball of the over. Leicestershire 83 for 2. Nearly halfway into their chase.
Travaskis in again, driven back past him, down towards long off for 1. Picked up by Turner. I don't know if you saw at Wembley yesterday, the bucket hat was obviously very popular, particularly among
I saw a lot of Man United ones, yeah.
Yeah. Now today, out in the middle there in the warm-up, Ryan Campbell, Durham coach, wearing a Durham bucket hat.
Yeah, he's got one, a reversible one.
Ah.
Yeah. The other side's, that's a lovely
nailed.
shot.
That is absolutely nailed. That's 4, straight out the middle of the bat and hammered through towards the cover boundary. That was really middled by Ackerman.
Gorgeous shot there, just giving himself some room, opening up the offside and nailing it past Wayne Parnell in the covers for 4. It's a good start to the over. 2 boundaries off the first 3 balls.
CJ says, great first wicket. So happy I got to watch it on the live stream, Luke. I'm doing the family proud. Keep it coming, fella.
Brilliant stuff.
Mr. CJ Calvert on Twitter. 88 for 2, 81 needed from here. Travaskis in, and that's turned off the legs down to the square leg boundary. Sauter's in there. 1 run. Comes in and bowls again, and this is played towards Cow corner. There's 2 men out there, and sliding in and falling over and picking himself up and stopping the ball going for 4 is Bastaleda. Run 2 instead.
It's done well there, hasn't he? That was right in the gap.
Travaskis bowling the last ball of the over, driven 2 long off to Ashton Turner. 1 run by Patel there. So end of the 11th, 92 for 2. Durham were 75 for 3 at that point, but then they got a good partnership going after that, didn't they? The 80 for the 4th. Yeah. My dad's just texted. He says, I played football with Luke Robinson's granddad, Kenny.
Yeah.
The Robinson family have been absolute stalwarts of Philadelphia for many years. Kenny's wife made the teas for years.
Did, yeah.
A lovely family of cricketing people.
Brilliant. Yeah, sadly lost Stephen, who's Luke's dad. They lost Glenn, Stephen's brother, to meningitis. So there's a few cups and things like that knocking around in his name. Glenn Robinson, yeah, very talented player as a young kid. Fortunately, no longer with us as Luke is back in and catch it. He's gone. Caught at cover. Robinson picks up his second. And Rishi Patel now goes
for 16.
He's gone for 16. Caught by Ashton Turner, I think, in the covers, or was it Parnell? Just trying to think out who that was.
Bullet.
Sits straight at him and well held. But a dream debut so far for Robinson as he picks up his second. Alex Lees, yeah.
Skipper in the covers.
But Durham are going to have to do that. Probably going to have to bowl Leicestershire out to win here. But Robinson comes back into the attack and picks up his second. And Leicestershire now 92 for 3. 1 ball into the 12th over.
Still need 77 to win. Lewis Kimber, the new batsman.
Kimber is the new batsman. Sorry, I'm just watching Robinson, who was already at the top of his mark, is that excited, ready to go. There's still people out on the ground with drinks and all sorts of conversations happening. Luke just wants the ball. He runs in as hard as he can. He now comes in. Kimber on strike. This one's full and straight and nearly sneaks through Kimber's defences. As the crowd now just starting to get behind the debutant. And another nice moment here. Durham have a few young lads coming through the system have all been able to make debuts. Ben McKinney earlier, a couple last year, and McAlinden and Colleen and people like that. So the future's pretty bright for Durham as Robinson comes in, and this is driven nicely out into the covers. Travascus will run around and clean up, and they come back for 2. So Kimber's away with 2, and Leicestershire move on to 94 for 3. Alex Lees, the captain in the covers, taking a sharp catch. It was hit straight at him, but it was hit very firmly by Rishi Patel. Robinson in, right arm over the wicket, and this one's chipped in the air and just over Lees' head. And it was nearly a 3rd wicket for the young fella from Philadelphia. This one escapes Lees and trickles away for a single. 95 for 3, making things happen out here, Robinson, who's impressed everybody at Durham, not only with his attitude, but the way that he's approached his cricket.
Oscar Brown says, Luke Robinson, the new Chesterley Express.
There's a few off the production line, isn't there? There's a young guy called Dan Hogg as well, who's waiting in the wings for an opportunity. He'll probably get a crack in the Royal London. It's a big, tall, fast bowler from Durham School.
Yeah.
Robinson this time with a Yorker that's beautifully timed and dug out.
Oh, missed by
Parnell's let him down. Yeah, he's dived over the top of that one and it's run away for 4, much to the groans and displeasure of the crowd. I'm sure there'll be an apology from him to the young quick. But yeah, Dan Hogg, really exciting. There's a couple of other nice ones, George Darwood and Kenzie Peakman just under that as well. So the bowling stocks for Durham are really healthy. As been shown here with Luke Robinson on debut. Currently has 2 for 14. He bowls a short one, and this is pulled away out into the deep. It'll just be the single. Fielded down there by Graham Clark, and that's the 100 up for Leicester at the end of the 12th over. Durham with a lot of work to do. They're going to need to keep taking wickets here and bring Souter back into the attack. Replacing Travascus, who's been a little bit expensive. He's gone for 34 off his 3, Travascus. Nathan Souter back into the attack now has been miserly. His first 2 overs going for 9.
69 needed from here, even I can do those maths. 12 overs gone. So 8 overs to go. Run rate is currently 8.3. They need to go at 8.6 from here, so they need to up the game a little bit. Souter in. Ball skids in low. Played away by Ackerman out through deep mid-wicket towards cow corner for 1 run. Fielded by Travascus, who got there just in front of Michael Jones down below our commentary position. It's a beautiful day here in Durham. The sun is shining. There's a decent crowd in. Just a few little bits of cloud left now. It was quite a murky, grey, cold morning, but all that's melted away now.
$101 for 3, the Foxes. Shooter Durham's 168 for 6.
Kimber waits and cuts that from Souter out towards the cover boundary for 1 run. Made his 2020 debut against Durham, Lewis Kimber, in 2021. He's got 189 runs and made 102 of them in 2021. This is pushed up to Turner at long off for 1 by Ackerman. Scoreboard's jumped up to Kimber again already very quickly. Kimber was playing for Lincolnshire in the minor counties. He got centuries on the same day against Northumberland, 162 not out, and 112 in 2018. That's driven by him down towards Ashton Turner. It was in the air for a while, but dropped short. He scores 53 against Derbyshire 2 years ago. He's at the non-strikers end now. He's on 5. Ackerman, the skipper for Leicestershire, he's on 19. Born in South Africa, but he's played international cricket for both South Africa and the Netherlands. There's Souter Bowles. This is played towards the offside corner of the square. Stopped by Parnell. 1 run. Ackerman's had 21 half centuries, so if he gets one today, then Leicestershire will be there or thereabouts. Highest score, 85 against Northants last year. His previous best, 79 not out for Warriors against Lions in 2015. So he knows what he's doing with the bat. This is played by Kimber to Clark on the cover boundary, 1 run. And Souter finishes his 3rd over. And it was all singles all the way through that there.
None for 15.
None for 15 from 3 overs. So 106 for 3 here on the BBC. Leicestershire need another 63 to win from 7 overs. So the required rate has climbed to 9. They are 106 for 3, and Durham were 94 for 3. But this was about the point in time where Durham got that good partnership going, started to get runs on the board.
Yes, end of an excellent over there from Souter. Only going at 5s. Robinson is back in from the Finkel end. Sorry, from the Lumley end. Oh, he's picked up his 2 wickets so far. Here he comes in, bustles in, fast approach, and this one's carved away behind point. Whereas excellent bit of fielding out there from Bastelida prevents a 2nd run.
Paul says this one's going to be tight. And Mike Duncan says, as we're talking about Metherley, Old Tofts were in the same league as Metherley, the Central Yorkshire League.
Yeah.
And they had Dean Jones as their overseas player in the 1990s as an 18-year-old. He's got a boatload of runs.
I can imagine. Yeah. As Robinson comes in, and this one's straight and clipped away out into the leg side by Ackerman. It'll be another single.
Well, he was here in 92, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
So he would.
Durham's
he
first
might have been in the 80s
player.
when he was an 18-year-old playing for them, then rather than the 90s.
I don't think he was that old when he was here. It might have been 1990. He was a young fella, made his way pretty quickly in cricket. Unfortunately, no longer with us.
You did a podcast with him, didn't you?
I did indeed. As Robinson comes in, this one's driven just over the head of mid-on.
Rain.
Ben Rain leaping. That would have been a wicket made all in Philadelphia. As this one runs away out 2, long on for 4. Inches away from another wicket there.
The real Philadelphia rather than the other one. Or is this one named?
No Liberty Bell.
Is this one named after that one?
No, the other way, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was the name of the pit, wasn't it? That's...
Yeah. As Robinson comes in again, and he bounces. Kimber, who clots it out to mid-on, and Ben Rain again takes a token throw at the stumps and knocks middle stump out of the ground. And another single. Leicestershire move on to 113 for 3. Robinson with 2 for 22.
I wonder if Durham might go down the route of the hybrid wicket again at some point in the future, because they did have one, and then the whole square was dug up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And,
about a year later.
Yeah, they were dug up as well. So
it's an amazing process if you haven't seen it. It's like a big sewing needle.
Yeah.
Punching nylon into the pitch, and this one's tucked away nicely out into the gap wide of mid-wicket. It'll at least be 2 runs, as Ben Rain does very well. Collects this one out in the deep. 115 for 3. Leicester ticking along nicely here. Something needs to happen for Durham. They pull themselves back into this game. A beautiful afternoon here at Chesley Street. Last ball of the over, and Robinson bowls is short. With 3rd man in the circle, that is 1 bounce and away for 4. He'd be disappointed with that finish to the over. And Leicestershire now move on to 119 for 3. looking more and more comfortable in this run chase. Ackerman on 27, Kimber on 12. We up 50 to win. Spasteleda is going to rejoin the attack. 50 to win in 6 overs.
Required rate is now dropped below the run rate for the first time. It's gone down the leg side, and he starts with a wide every time, Basteleda, doesn't he? I don't know why, but he did this against Notts the other day as well. Kimber on 12, and this partnership is 27 from 17 balls.
49 from 36 required.
Deleda in and tries to York. Kimber digs this one out, plays it up to Jones at long on, and they'll get one for the throw as well as the ball bobbles back to the bowler's end. Good running there from Kimber and Ackerman. Durham had a slow start. They were 22 for 2, 67 for 3.
Pretty quiet last couple of overs as well.
Yeah, power play was 40 for 2. Deleda's gone down the leg side again, and that bounces a couple of times before it reaches the keeper, but the umpire this time says it's not a wide.
If that's took a bit of pad on the way past.
Maybe.
So it died, didn't it? And Robinson did quite well to collect it in front of him himself.
Davies wondering, is today a record for hitting the stumps without actually having a run out?
It's not far off,
Could be up there. Deleda to Kimber, who's on 14.
Oh, that's
a massive 6. That's going to go in the car park, surely. Oh, right at the back of the east stand, the Castle stand. He absolutely tonked that one. There's some black sheeting at the very back of that stand, and it's landed on that.
We've lost a fielder who's trying to get under the...
Souter's gone up into the stand to try and look for the ball here.
Yeah, that's a big hit. Deleda just on the hip there of Kimber, who has absolutely launched it to the top of the stand.
It's in the back row.
Yeah.
He's found it. He's thrown it back onto the field.
It's now catching the number 31 from Hortonley Spring back to the ground. It's a big hit. It's like an assault course as he tries to get back through the...
Yeah. He's having to crawl underneath some black sheeting at the front of the stand.
He's back.
Deleda none for 17 from 1.3 overs. That's a shortish ball and pulled away by Kimber out through mid-wicket for 1 run. Durham bowled really poorly in the first few overs, didn't they? Leicestershire got off to a flyer. And they had 60 on the board at the end of the power play. They got to 50 for none in 4.3 overs.
Yeah, they did get a flyer. Some really nice shots. The opening pair.
In comes Deleda again, and that's a slower ball. It's clubbed down into the ground and it bounces over his head and they get 1. I said before the day started, don't take this as a foregone conclusion, because T20 doesn't work like that, particularly with Durham over the years. Teams come in here who haven't won a game and go away with the points. Later to Kimber on 21. Kimber plays the ball up to Ashton Turner at long off, 1 run. And they need 38 to win from 5 overs.
Yeah, 38 from 30. And right in the driving seat are the visitors. You can see Souter come and bowl his last over. This time from the Lumley end, replacing Luke Robinson. Where is this game going? Howard Durham going to change it here. Souter brilliant so far, none for 15. I think Leicester will probably be happy just to knock him around and not lose a wicket. Ball right arm over the wicket. It was Kimber on strike, who's on 22 from 14. He bowls, he gives himself some room and punches this one off the back foot out into the deep cover region where Deleda does the fielding. That's another run to the total. 132 for 3. And again, some room given to himself by the batsman. Souter bowls it nice and straight at the stumps. And a dot ball. This time Ackerman comes across his stumps a little bit and whips it out into the leg side. A little bit of miscommunication there in the deep. And a misfield by Travascus out there allows the batsman to come back for a third with some excellent running. And maybe symptomatic of this innings so far from Durham, or even today.
Michael Ventris has emailed. He said he's just reminiscing.
Okie doke. Souter comes in, tosses this one up.
6.
And Kimber decides to toss this one over. Pretty straight long on for 6. Beautiful strike there from Kimber. And Leicestershire now quickly closing in on this Durham total.
Well, this is going to get everybody's eyes open in the north, isn't it? Seeing
Just the
getting
group
taken apart here by Leicestershire.
Just the group even further.
Yeah.
Durham would have been hoping to go 4-1 today. As this one's beautifully driven out into the offside, this by Kimber. Deleda does very well out there to prevent that going for 4. However, Kimber gets back for a second and the score moves on to
Partnership 51.
143 for 3. And the 50 partnership between these two, which Kimber has been the aggressor. He's on 31. And it comes off just 28 balls in 17 minutes. That's how quickly this game's been taken away from Durham after that double strike. And cruising to victory here. 36 required. But is it 26 required?
26, yeah.
26. This one's tickled round the corner to Clark out on the boundary. And that ends the spell from Souter. He's bowled well again today.
Not taking a wicket rarity.
None for 28. 144 for 3 with 4 overs remaining. It's just down to just about a run a ball now.
Michael says, I saw Mark Wood get his first wicket and Matty Potts at Canterbury. Could this be an omen for the young Robinson? He asks.
Let's hope so. If he has half the career of them boys, he'll have done very, very well for himself. It's been probably one of the few highlights in this innings.
Paul Summerside is wondering if Kimber's nickname might be Legs.
Legser.
Ben Rain coming back on now against his former team. Somebody needs to do something here. 4 overs left, 25 to win. At 6.3 and over, they're now going along at 9, so more than doable from here. And comfortably as well. Rain in, and that's cracked away by Kimber out through past point to the boundary for 1. Rain in, takes the pace off the ball, pulled away by Ackerman to mid-wicket for 1.
It's all they need at the moment. Leicestershire just singles. As they've done a lot of the hard work and got right ahead of the game here. 2 set batsmen at the end as well. They're cruising the victory here. which will be their first of their campaign.
Chris Pinkney has tweeted as Rain comes in here to bowl to Kimber, who's on 33, and that's driven out through the covers.
Oh, that one.
Might go for 4. Santa's racing along and cuts it off as it's
Clark. Done well.
2 runs. He says it's the first game this year where Durham just don't look quite at it. Everything feels a bit sloppy, maybe barring the 2 Robinsons. Hopefully a blip, because they really have looked like they could do something this year. Rain to Kimber. Kimber plays it back to him. He can't get it though. He dives across to his left and it's just beyond his grasp. Runs down to long off to Ashton Turner. 1 run.
Yeah, let's be honest, they've had an absolutely amazing start to the season. And full credit to all the players and the coaching staff. There's a really good feeling around Durham at the moment. But in T20 cricket, any day can be your day. And it looks like today's Leicester's.
You've always got to bear that in mind in this format, and particularly with Durham over the years. And just because a side's lost 5 in a row doesn't mean they're going to continue losing every game.
Absolutely. They've played well. They've got off to a good start with the ball and with the bat. So they've won that power play and really been ahead of the game.
It's been about 2 young bowlers, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
18-year-old Josh Hull and 19-year-old Luke Robinson.
Yeah. Which is great to see for the next generations of players coming through.
Rain bowls. This is played away by Ackerman through mid-wicket for 1. Strolling to victory here, Leicestershire at the moment. And that's the 150 up as well. 16.5 overs. 150 for 3. This is the sort of game that could quite easily have been on the telly, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it was similar to this that when Leicester won here
Well, last year they won by 51 runs.
Yeah, they cruised it, didn't they?
Rain in. Driven through the hands of Lees. It wasn't a catching chance, though. I think it was on the ground, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, it's gone through his hands. 1 run. So 18 needed from 3 overs.
Yeah.
Could still be a nervy finish this year.
Oh, I like that, Marty. There's a bit of positivity from you.
Do you not think?
No, I think it's done.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's done. I'd love to be wrong. But Leicester have done enough to win this game for me. So actually, I think a few in the crowd thinking that as well, as it start to see a few eking out. 3 overs still remaining. As Wayne Parnell is going to bowl from the Lumley end to hopefully breathe some life back into this game from a Durham point of view. As Marty says, it isn't done yet. Just a run a ball required. For victory, 7 wickets in hand. I'm sure the win viz would be very high, or whatever the other statistical analysis wizards come up with. I reckon you're looking at a 98% chance of victory for the Foxes right now. Wayne Parnell, left arm round the wicket. And I bet it's even further now because Kimber has launched that into the members. That's a huge shot. And a few of the Durham boys look at each other and just give them a nod because that was a proper pull shot, that. Parnell round the wicket, giving him the angle and the length. And Kimber says good night. That one is launched, probably the best part of 90 metres over into the members. He's moved on to 43 off just 22 balls. Given some real impetus to this innings. Just the 12 runs needed now. As Parnell comes in round the wicket. And this one's angled away out into the offside. No need to take a run there as Ben Rain does the fielding. 12 to win off 16 balls.
Well, this has been flat. This is
it has.
Flat as a pancake today. This just never got going properly with the bat.
It's been a real Sunday afternoon, hasn't it?
Slow start with a bat and then total of 168. You're thinking it's about average.
I think the par score for here is probably around 180, I would say. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous that from Kimber. Parnell angles that into the stumps have Sweet Caroline ringing out around the ground, and he late cuts that and beats Ben Rain, that short third man. Goes away for 4 more, just the 8 now required for victory.
Kimber's only had the 1 half-century 53 against Derbyshire in 2021, so he's about to notch up his second today, and who knows, he could well beat that total and end up with a career best as well. Partnership 69 now from these two as well, which is probably Leicestershire's record 4th stand against Durham.
Kimber drives now, but this time out into the skipper Alex Lees in the covers for no run. Here's a bit of news out of England, is that spinner Jack Leach has a stress fracture and will miss the Ashes.
Oh.
A lower back stress fracture.
72 is their best 4th wicket stand against Durham.
As Parnell comes in, and Kimber punches this one out into the leg side, and we'll get 4 more, and brings up a well-deserved 50. Superb innings out from Lewis Kimber. Has really taken the game away from Durham just when Durham had a sniff after the dismissal of Patel. Kimber has taken this by the scruff of the neck.
27 balls, 3 fours and 3 sixes.
Yeah, there you go. 51 from 27 balls, 3 fours, 3 sixes. And has Leicestershire just 4 runs away from a well-deserved victory on a bit of a Sunday afternoon stroll for the visitors. And comes Parnell. Last ball of his over, and I think he's finished. No, it's a top edge. Has it gone far enough? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. 1 bounce, 7 wickets, 12 balls to spare. The Foxes take the chocolates. Take all the points back to Grace Road, where Durham will head next Friday night after a game here on Tuesday night against Northants. Disappointing afternoon after, like you say, Marty, it's been an absolutely superb start to the season for them, especially in red ball cricket, where they've been in a position to win all 6 games in the red ball. They've had some great performances in the white ball and the T20 to start, but today hasn't been their day, and Leicestershire go away with the points and a 7-wicket victory.
A career best 55 for Kimber.
Yeah.
Ackerman made 33.
Brilliant innings that from Kimber for me. That when the game was on the line there, he's really taken that straight out of Durham's hands. Give them no chance, and the experienced Ackerman at the other end.
So they've won there by 7 wickets with 2 overs to go. That was an absolute stroll in the park for Leicestershire today. And I said anybody who thought this was a foregone conclusion in the pre-match video and on air should give their heads a wobble, and there you go. 2020 comes back to bite you on the bum just like it has done for many years. An off day from Durham, you've got to hope that it's just something like that, but everybody around the country will be thinking, what on earth happened there? So there you go.
Simply beaten by a better side today. Well, Leicestershire started, and the
best.
The power plays will indicate that Leicestershire were well on top. And the back end of the innings, well, they didn't even get to their last 2 overs. But the way that Durham finished off with the bat, and the way that Leicestershire then again started off with the bat, I think they were 60 without loss, or 60 for 1 off the power play. There was no looking back for them from there.
Ackerman 33. And what was their partnership in the end? 77.
Yeah, fantastic effort that. Really good.
That's Leicestershire's best 4th wicket stand against Durham, and Durham had their best 4th wicket stand against Leicestershire's.
Yeah, that's right.
Right then, just quickly run you through the bowling figures. Poor bowling from the off from Durham as well. Just the pressure was off Leicestershire as soon as they got going, motoring with a bat, and they went after some pretty poor bowling early doors. Had 50 on the board in 4.3 overs and never really looked back from there. Travascus 3 overs, none for 34. Parnell 3 overs, 1 for 35. Deleda none for 20 from 2. Rain none for 18 from 3. Soughton none for 28 from 4. Luke Robinson on debut, 2 for 28 from 3. I think we'll probably be interviewing him in a few moments, I wouldn't imagine. We'll leave it there then. Durham are back in action on Tuesday evening here against Northamptonshire, so that will be a joint commentary. Andrew Rad joining us for that one. But today, it was one of those days where really it was a bad day at the office for Durham, and if you're a Leicestershire fan, well, I'm sure you enjoyed that one. See you later. Remember, reaction tomorrow morning on BBC Radio Newcastle and BBC Radio Tees.